Hola, my people. As I fuck everything up in the first 3.5 seconds. There we go. Yeah. Holla. Finally got the setup, so to speak. A little bit. A little bit of the setup. Already got to put a little more wood on the fire. Whew, it is a cool one tonight. Did my iPad decide to come back on? No, it did not. So that will stay in my pocket trying to recharge and get warm. Who's watching? Someone's watching. As I use my shitty extension cord that doesn't want to hold on to my charging block. Put the iPad. Nope, stay where you are. Stay where you are. Pad in the old jacket to warm it up. Yeah. So who's here? Yeah, I know it ain't me. I'm not watching anything right now. Yeah, I brought my what's up, Derek? How you doing, bro? I'm gonna take a minute. Yeah, I know. Give it a second. There we go. Yeah, I knew it. I had forgot to reconnect to my Wi-Fi when I walked in the house. A little bit of bourbon. A little bit. Hey, go buy you some Still Rights Kentucky bourbon whiskey. Good stuff. I think you can buy it online, I'm pretty sure. You don't have to go to their website. They actually brew their stuff here in town where I live, which is kind of cool. And then a little bit of soda. Trying not to drink too heavy tonight. It's a cool one out here right now. Yeah, in case you guys haven't seen yet, new fire pit. Give you guys a little look. There's the fire burning. I'm gonna have to put some more wood on it here in a minute. But Canadian whiskey. I have not had something that I know to be Canadian. Well, I've had Crown. If Crown is Canadian, then I've had Crown. So yeah, I guess I have had Canadian whiskey if it's Crown. But I need to go buy a new bottle of Crown. I wanted to do that today and forgot, but I had this fresh bottle of bourbon whiskey, so it wasn't really hurting for liquor today. Then I had a rare Saturday off work because I did some stuff at work to kind of help position myself. I'm already in the need to have to put some more wood on the old fire. I'll be doing that here in just a second. Matter of fact, I may do that now before I get to the stuff. Drop my poker. Yes, there are so many different kinds now. Yeah, I want some of that Whiskey Trace stuff, but we'll see. Get some fire. Fire wood. I keep some of the smaller pieces like this. Keep it right here on the patio. Ooh, smoke right in the eye. That was fun. I keep it covered, of course, because I don't want it to get all wet. Now it's going to get super smoky. Get some of it is wet. Ooh, smoke right in the eyes. Nice. Whew. But luckily, the wind is carrying the smoke either straight up or away from me, which is nice. That smoke is like dirty brown too. It's not even white smoke. What's up? Hey, what's up? What's up, Marcus? What's going on, brother? Should be at work right now, right? Oh, wait a minute. It's after 10, you guys are closed. Oh. A little bit of chilling. Settling down for the night, yeah. You can warm up the old iPad so I can read it better. That and you worked this morning. Oh, okay. Is it fucking around again? God damn this thing. There we go. Looks like we're properly connected now. Yeah, I just had to download Streamlabs so I could do this on my phone because I unplugged my iPad, walked it out here, and in the 10 minutes that my iPad was unplugged, it went from full charge to 0. I have a feeling it's the cold that did that, which is why it's in my jacket with me right now, but still, that's kind of stupid. I mean, but I have a shitty iPad mini. It works for what I need it to work for around the house. Occasionally I'll take it to work so I can watch sports with it or something like that, but that's about it. But Yeah. Anything else going on, guys? We're 6 minutes into it. A couple people watching. Yeah, it's been a while since I've done a fireside chat. I haven't really. I mean, I had anticipated doing a few more of them over the winter, and then, you know, the move happened, and that was kind of sudden and threw a lot of plans off. That fire started going real good real fast. I'm liking this fire pit that Jennifer got me. She got me an awesome one. But, yeah, I'm just glad to finally get back at one of these. It's awfully cool out tonight. It's in the 30s, but it's not windy, which makes it a lot more tolerable. You know, I'm still not one for cold weather, but I mean, if I have to have it, it'll be this, which I can tolerate. A couple weeks ago, when it was, you know, 0 with a wind chill of you're gonna die if you go outside, I was kind of like, not really feeling that, but you know, whatever. But yeah, big long stick I'm trying to burn down that was not the easiest to break. The fire helped break it right there. That's good. That's kind of what I was going for. I think this time I'll put it this way. That'll help burn a little more. Yeah. Yeah, wind is everything. Yeah, no doubt. In the midst of that really cold bullshit, I had to go to Walmart to pick up some stuff, and because it was crowded, I parked in a spot I don't usually park. There's usually 1 or 2 rows at Walmart that I'll park in, kind of on one end or the other, because it's kind of right by the doors. And because it was kind of crowded, I parked in some weird spot just to park so I could get in there, get what I needed, and get out. And sure as shit, I forgot where the fuck I parked. So I was walking around the parking lot at Walmart for 20 minutes when it was fucking 20 below 0 with a wind chill of go fuck yourself, to try to figure out where the hell I parked the car. And by the time I actually found my car and got the few things I had in the cart in and started the heater, my ears were pretty much numb. So that was great fun. But yeah, it's decent out right now. It's not terrible. Can't complain, really. Trying to keep all this stuff kind of as close as possible. Trying to stay close to the fire so I stay warm. Got a new lawn chair. Nothing special. A $20 job from Walmart. Gonna break that in while I'm talking to you guys. But I kind of like this this setup that Jennifer got me for Christmas. I'll give you guys a little show real quick, because it's like, there it is right there, and it's got this grate right here that you can swing over so you can cook on it and shit like that. I mean, I'm not overly fond of kind of how it's all put together, but yeah, it's all I really wanted was a fire pit. Now you can't quite see it because it's dark out there right now, but way over in that way direction is a fire pit that's like on the ground and stuff in the backyard. I have a good sized backyard. One of the things I like with this house. The house itself is a little small. It barely winter. And here we go again with some buffering shit. But yeah, if you guys are buffering or having some weirdness, it's because I don't know why. I'm connected to my Wi-Fi. My phone's plugged in. Maybe it's because it's cold out. That could be a big factor. That might be an issue. So this might be the last fireside chat we have for well, until the weather breaks anyway, which hopefully will be fairly soon. We've had fairly mild winter, thankfully, with the exception of that week where it was awful. We've had a fairly mild winter. But anyway, right out there, you can't quite see it because it's nighttime. There's a big fire pit that's got all my bigger logs stacked nearby it. I've been wanting to clear it out, to kind of clean it out, because the guy that lived in this house before us, it's just a pile of rocks and stuff like that he was burning everything on. I don't really know what he was doing, but I mean, yeah, it needed to be worked on. So before the weather turned really, really bad, I went out there, I dug out all the rock. He had rocks, broke up brick, and all kinds of weird shit in there. I kind of threw it off to the side of the yard, and I'll try to figure out what to do with it later. Yeah, and I tried to clean it up, and I was really wanting to kind of dig it out and flatten it a little bit and put a smaller pit, something like this over there, and like have that be a thing, something maybe a little recessed into the ground. But by the time I had started to do that, the weather started to turn, the grass had gotten a little harder, and shoveling and digging and raking it all up wasn't really going to happen. So that'll be one of my projects for March or April. So that way, hopefully the weather will break a little early, maybe February. We'll start getting like the regular 50-degree stuff, and it'll soften the ground up enough to where I can work it with a shovel or rake it out or just do some stuff with it. A buddy of ours, actually, he works in cement. So I was hoping that I might be able to do something like he did. He basically just dug a hole in his front yard, because all of his yard is front yard. His backyard is like almost literally this big. But he just kind of dug a hole out and got some cement from work and just kind of like, cemented in like a little cove in there. And it's got some drainage and stuff like that in it, so that way if it rains or something, it doesn't fill up with water that he has to deal with. But yeah, it's maybe something like that. And then I'll figure it out in the spring when I can really get out there and screw around with it. But whatever. Let's see. Derek says, Derek says, haha, no way, man, that just happened to me. Thought someone else stole my company truck for legit 6 seconds. I was complete and utter panic. I didn't think somebody stole the car, because our car is barely worth stealing, except for the fact that it is a car. And if you're desperately in need of one, I suppose ours would work. But yeah, I just, like I said, I didn't commit to memory because I was already having kind of a long day. And I just wanted to get it. The weather was screwing with everything, things like that. So I was just in a hurry to get in, get the stuff I need to get out. I wanted to get some meat to put in the fridge, things like that, because I didn't know how long the weather was going to last. So I just wanted to get some food to have around the house. And I just went in there to get 5-6 things. Came back out, and I was in such a hurry and kind of a bit crabobbled. I kind of lost track where I put the car. So yeah, I wasn't having a good day. N7 Wolf, what's up, brother? Said, how are you? How you doing? I'm good right now. Rare Saturday off work. I had to work an X-ray during the week, and they said, hey, if you can get this covered, you can have a Saturday off. And I was like, fucking hey, I'll take a Saturday off. And it worked out nicely, because I was going to try to get out a little early anyway, because Jennifer did such a good job with handling our sudden move that I wanted to make it up to her and make sure she was taken care of for it. So, and Cheesecake Factory is her favorite place. So we've been trying to work out a time to go to Cheesecake Factory, and I had tried to arrange the schedule where I was going to be off by like 8 o'clock tonight so I could take her to Cheesecake Factory, and luckily, and I managed to get that accomplished, and then luckily after I had gotten the schedule all done up, somebody came to me and said, hey, there's a thing we need to take care of on Tuesday. Can we get this covered if you take Sunday off or Saturday off? I was like, yeah, or is that great for a Saturday off? I don't usually get Saturdays off, but yeah, whatever. Worked out pretty good. So we had a good dinner at Cheesecake Factory. Went to Books and Company, bought a couple of books. I'm gonna try getting a reading. It's one of my not movie related resolutions this year. Not that I ever make resolutions, but I want to start reading more. You know what I mean? Let's see what's going on in here. I'm gonna check out a little busy and I wasn't paying attention. Let's see. Derek Hant says he's been having issues with his internet too, and on my phone at work. We had to go get a new router because the streaming problems that I've been having. I think it may be the router, and every now and again I'll get up in the morning, and usually what I do when I get up is I'll get myself put together, and I'll go out in the living room and I'll turn on my PlayStation and I'll watch either some news somewhere or something like that. And I've noticed that once a week or so, it's like my PlayStation has trouble even connecting to the YouTube or anything. And if I do manage to connect to YouTube, it'll have trouble playing a video. And Jennifer was having a few problems with work, and because her work is so heavily internet based, I mean the ingoing and outgoing calls, she was having trouble. That all goes over the internet, and she was having some trouble with connectivity stuff. So we went and got a new router. And I thought that was going to help things. Had some problems early in the stream Thursday, but it seems like that's kind of usually the way it goes. Like the first half of the stream will have some problems, in the last half of the stream, it seems like whatever it is, will mellow itself out. I'm not 100% sure. Jennifer's nephew is way more computer smart than I am, so hopefully I'll corner him sometime soon, and I'll figure out a way to maybe fix that. Let's see, where am I at? Let's see, you guys all got busy in the chat room, and I lost where the hell I was at, damn it. I'm trying to do this on my phone while recording on my phone. Will says, hey brother, how you doing? Good. Not having a problem. The other nephew, Marcus, says if you need help, hit me up. Yeah, I mean, I had Chris over here. One day Chris was over at the old house, and I was going over some of the problems I was having with him that I was having with streaming when I was trying to use OBS. And he kind of figured out what the problem was. Basically, my computer can only really do so much. That's part of it. The other part of it is there's some technical stuff that computer just can't handle the way that I want to be able to run OBS. And so we kind of made out a list of some parts that I'm going to need. And I'm thinking that now that we're through Christmas and all that, I'm going to start piecing together some things like that. And hopefully by the end of the year, I'll have the system that I want, and it'll be able to handle the streaming. I wouldn't mind doing some gaming. I mean, it's like, I don't game that much. I mean, usually the only time I have to retry one, it's probably Okay, it's probably going to do that intermittently over the while we're out here. But anyway, yeah. And so usually all the gaming I do is with Casey. So if you want to see me gaming, you can usually just find me over on Casey's channel with him. I don't do a lot of gaming on my channel. I do sometimes just for shits and giggles, but for the most part, I just don't. So I don't really sweat it that much if I can just game from my PlayStation. Let's see. Lost where I was at again. So on, guys. You guys are typing too fast. Let's see. Here too. Make sure you put at least 6 inches of crushed stone underneath it. Yeah, I've actually been watching some of these videos lately, and I've been thinking about trying this, but I don't quite know yet. I've been thinking that I might build one of those like cement things that you see guys building on the internet, and trying to put something like that out there or something. But I've noticed other articles and stuff that I've read saying that like cement exploding is a thing, and I've seen videos of it happening, and I'm not fond of the idea of me and my people sitting out around the cement thing around a fire and having some drinks and then like the cement exploding. I know what caused it. It's moisture and air and the concrete and all that, but whatever. Jennifer's looking at me like she doesn't know if I want her to come out or not. Are you going to come out and say hi? Well, it's not warm. You might want to go around that way. There's ice over here because I just dumped water over the thing.
What did you do that for?
Because I was going to put fire in it, and I can't put fire where there's water. Duh.
Oh, there's so much water.
I know, I had to pour the water out, and it's already all frozen over, so it's all ice. So, be careful. I'm just sitting here with my beverage. You want to turn the camera so you can say hi? There he is.
Hi, everybody.
Hi. Hey, Jennifer.
Hi, Jennifer.
Marcus is in here, too, somewhere.
Marcus.
Let's see. Let's see, where was I at? Yeah, Derek says make sure to put at least 6 inches of a crushed stone underneath it. Yeah, remember I was telling you I was thinking about doing like what Robbie did with his fire pit? Mm-hmm. Putting like a cement base around it.
His started small, and because they use it so much, it just gradually got... So he finally put cement to make it stop expanding so much.
Let's see. And compact it the best you can with what you have. Your concrete will never crack. Yeah, I know. I see these videos, and you probably know what I'm talking about, Derek. I mean, these guys that use like the paint buckets and shit like that to make these things, and they put like the styrofoam in it to make the holes and all that, yada yada. You've probably seen these videos too. I've been looking at those, and I'm kind of like, why couldn't I make these and sell them? It's like, I mean, you think about it. How much material actually goes into them? I could probably sell them for like $75 a piece, and like make a good chunk of change. Make about 10 to 20 of them, and sell them for $75 a piece, and then whatever. But
What's in your jacket?
What's that?
What's in your jacket?
My iPad. I think one of the reasons that it died as soon as I brought it out here is because of the cold. So that's why. Because I usually do this from my iPad. Now I'm doing it from my phone because the iPad, as soon as I brought it out here, was like, nope, I don't do cold, bitch.
I don't do cold either.
Let's see. Yeah, stream elements. So you guys are typing too fast. Let's see. Internet here too. Help out. Wolf says I got better net and better living conditions, man. Raised $25 to cancer and could be working very hard to better myself. Fuck yeah, dude. Rock on, Wolf.
Yeah, I saw that.
Keep killing it, bro. Let's see. Compacted. Yeah, but compacting is one. That's what I was just saying. Is I know that air in the concrete can heat, and when the air that's in the bubbles in there expands and contracts, it's one of the things that cracks it. So, and that's a part of it too. But yeah, I've read about that. But I don't know. I might mess around and make one sometime early this spring, and then put a fire in it and kind of see how it works. And if I get the technique right, I might make a bunch of them and see if I can sell them, because there's festivals and carnivals and shit all over the place around here. I could rent a booth. Jennifer has already done that with her friend Heather a couple of times to sell better with that new router.
I think we need a what is those thingies called that expands the internet in the other parts of the house? Because the same thing happens up in Rio's room.
Oh, well.
It glitches.
Well, it happens to my computer, which is 3 feet from the router. So.
Well, your computer's stupid.
My computer is stupid. I don't know how to argue that.
You need a new computer.
But
to that.
Let's see. Derek says, compact the best you can. Yeah, I read that already. Mm-hmm. Let's see. Wolf says, good to see you back to streaming. Yeah, I only took that small break while we were dealing with the move.
The stupid move.
Yeah, the stupid move that neither one of us wanted, neither one of us were happy with having to deal with and stuff. But, whatever. It is what it is. I hate that. As much as I hate that saying, it really is. But let's see. Cheers to Steve Callum. What's going on, my brother? I could never get in there. Get in where? Hey, who do we have tomorrow? Yeah, we have Arizona tomorrow. And they are without Kyler Murray.
Mississippi.
Yeah, they're without Kyler Murray, and I think one of their running backs. I'm not entirely sure, but I mean, even if they were at full strength, I think we probably have the win pretty much in hand tomorrow. Again, I do not like to tempt fate. I do not count chickens before they are hatched. So, and there is a still slight chance we get the 1 seed. The 1 seed would help tremendously, and so yeah, I'm just a win. A win tomorrow is all I want. Let's see. Wolf says get fiber as fast as five. I would love to. The problem is it would. I don't know how
it's offered out here.
It may not be offered here. I don't really know, but sometimes I mean it may have to be installed, which means I have to deal with the guy that owns the house and stuff about getting holes drilled and whatnot. Mm-hmm. And so I don't think he'd mind. The dude that owns the house is pretty cool, but. I mean, do I want to go through the trouble? Do I want to go through the expenditure? Especially when I think that most of the problem is probably my computer anyway. So, I don't know. Let's see. Derek Hansen says, do you have more things hooked up to it? Yeah, but...
Yeah.
Well, I mean, the question is what's running all at the same time? Generally speaking, the only thing that's ever running at the same time is... Well, I mean, Jennifer's got some trouble with it anyway, and usually the only thing running when she's at work is probably my PlayStation and her computer.
And that's it, really.
But she does the VoIP stuff because all of her incoming and outgoing calls are on VoIP. So that probably has something to do with it. But usually, like at night when I'm streaming, the only problem I really have is, like I said, early in the streams, I'll have that thing where it'll kind of like go in and out, and then usually later in the stream, whatever it is, has worked itself out. And during that whole time, usually Jennifer's either watching something in the living room or she's in bed watching Family Guy falling asleep. So there's not a whole lot of draw on the internet in the time when I'm doing the stream. So I mean, I don't really know. I'll figure it out. Like I said, it's probably more my computer than anything else. Derek said we just had that problem with PS5. Things connected to my Wi-Fi since Christmas. Yeah, I really don't know. Truth be told, I don't have great luck with electronics, and I tend to not buy the really super high-end electronics. So the fact that I have shitty luck and they're cheap probably doesn't really help.
So if y'all want to pull your money together and help buy Frank a new computer that runs better, let me know.
Not a whole computer, just parts. I just need parts.
A whole computer.
Oh, yeah, to build a whole computer. He said, I've got Fortnite and I love the non-build mode, to be honest. Dude, so do I. No build is fucking awesome. I swear to you, I've had, I think, maybe 3 wins on build the entire time that I've played Fortnite. And that's, when did I start playing Fortnite? Keith started playing it early. I didn't pick it up till probably like season 5 or 6 before the chapters, like season 5 or 6 of Fortnite. And off and on since then. There was a long time where I didn't play it. I just kind of went back to Call of Duty because I was getting a little burned out on it. But yeah, then I started playing it again, and then when they brought back no build, I was all over that shit, and I was getting wins like crazy. Like, once you can't hide behind some fucking super mega structure and hit me with some bullshit, then you got to actually shoot. I win shootouts. So I've won probably 10 or 15 no build games, and I've placed top 5 in a bunch of others. Now, there have been a couple where I fucked around, or maybe I just wasn't playing right and somebody murked me like 5 minutes in the game. That shit happens. But yeah, no build is awesome. I tell you what, if I want Call of Duty to get a creative mode, because honestly, if it were not for creative mode, I would have switched off Fortnite a long time ago. I really enjoy creative mode. I just worked on another one, attempting to retry one, and it'll reconnect, and that's weird. There we go. Yeah, reconnected. But everything's plugged in too. I want to make sure I don't run out of battery. But let's see. What's a crack-a-lackin'? What's up, bro? Let's see. You got Fortnite 11 on build mode. Yeah, me too. Where that? Wow, I swear that crack-a-lackin' was made up term we invented here in upstate New York. I have no idea. Honestly, I've heard that term so many times.
I've said that term before.
I've heard that term so many times since I was a kid. Where it comes from, I have no idea. But I said it back in high school, so I don't know. My line of work, I was construction materials inspector for 20 years. Yeah. Well, yeah, I know. I had looked at some videos about exploding concrete, because that was one of... I even commented on one of this guy's videos. I was like, do you ever have a problem with the concrete exploding? And all he did was like the comment. And I'm like, that doesn't answer my question. It's like, I don't know if that means you do or you don't, or if you're just acknowledging me because... you're telling these people you're promoting these people to go build something that could possibly explode and hurt them. But, whatever. I like I said, the research I've done, I get what you're saying. Just make sure there's very, very little air in the concrete, that it's patted down and all that, and it's packed, and it won't be a problem. But it is a concern. So I'll probably try something small scale and mess with it, but whatever. Let's see. You met with the fire pit, more of a build and tech. But yeah, I know exactly what you're saying. Let's see. Also, Marcus says, "Oh, hey Jen, I have my $160 cookie order ready if you want it."
Dude, if y'all want Girl Scout cookies, hit me up.
Real talk, guys.
For
Honestly,
real, though, like, cookies.
one of the reasons why it was important for me and Jennifer to go out to dinner tonight is because I know that almost literally right around the corner in the next couple of weeks, her and her friend Heather are going to be balls deep in cookie season for their Girl Scout troop. And when I say balls deep, I literally will not see her until I'm coming to bed that night. Yeah. Because for probably 6 weeks or so, she will be working and at cookie booths, and then that's it. That's all she's going to be doing. This is going to be all Girl Scout cookies all the time. And so if you guys need the Girl Scout cookie hookup, you're selling them online too, right?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll remember to put a link in the description, and I'll try to remember to say something about it.
I'll remind him.
She will probably remind me, but yeah, Girl Scout cookie season is coming up, so if you guys want some Girl Scout cookies, yeah, let's go.
Maria has a goal of 600, so
600 guys, come on.
Fam, bring it on.
Come on, community. Let's hawk cookies, bro. Let's see. Patrick says hello, by the way.
Hi.
Let's see. Frank, continue from Thursday. Your top 5 most anticipated. It jumped on me. Most anticipated films were Cocaine Bear, fair enough. Mario Brothers, understandable. Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse. You know, I still have not seen Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. Everybody says it's wonderful and awesome. It's on Disney Plus, I'm pretty sure. I just haven't sat down to watch it. I need to, though, because a lot of people said it was good. Indiana Jones and Dial of Destiny, me too. And Oppenheimer. Yeah, Oppenheimer, that movie looks awesome. I mean, it's loaded with talent. I mean, Robert Downey Jr., Cillian Murphy, what's his name? Cillian Murphy, I think is his name. Matt Damon's in it. Emily Blunt plays Oppenheimer's wife. I mean, it's just there's too much talent in such an interesting story. I don't see how that could go wrong. However, I've been wrong before. See, Derek says when it's it jumped on me again. Derek says I actually cringe when I watch them because I see how bad they're fucking the homeowner. Well, yeah. It keeps jumping on me.
Well, because everyone's at the end and you're still in the middle.
Well, no. Every time I try to scan up and down, that's one of the reasons I'm trying to get the iPad to warm up so I can use the iPad to read the chat instead of the phone. And the iPad, I think, was getting to the point where it was kind of getting warm again. But
I was wondering what was in your
it's still doing that.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know why. It was at 100% 2 minutes before I walked out here. I unplugged it. I walked out here. And then
you see an update on your iPhone.
It's not an update. It's the iPad itself.
That's what I'm saying.
You just get a new one?
Yeah.
Oh, I'd love to, but I don't want to spend $300 on an iPad.
I know you don't.
It's well about diesel anyway, but I don't know. It'll warm up here in a minute. But let's see. Derek Hand says it shows them pouring the concrete anyway. Yeah. Derek Hand says, "Yep, air entertainment." Agent, it comes already in your concrete when it shows up unless you mix it yourself. Some Quikrete bags have additives in it for the air. That I did not know, but one of the things I was noticing, because I had gone to Home Depot's website, I think, to try to get an idea as to how much it would cost to build 1 or 2 of these things, or try to figure out what yield I would get out of a bag or 2 of cement, that kind of thing. And I've noticed that there are several different kinds of cement, which I already knew, but that many kinds of cement was kind of a new thing to me. I did not realize there's the quick set stuff, there's the heavy duty stuff, there is special stuff for heat, but that was kind of pricey. There's all kinds of other stuff. Like I said, that's why I questioned the guy. I was like, have you ever had a problem with this? Because there's a technique in there that he uses that I don't know about. I'd like to know what that technique is before I build one of these, set fire to it, and watch it explode in my backyard. But not that it exploding in my backyard wouldn't be kind of fun. I mean, it'd be kind of dope, but hopefully it would be on camera and you guys will be able to share it too. But yeah, I've been doing the research into that, so probably I may even try to vlog it this summer if I try to build it. I may try to vlog it so you guys will be able to see how bad I screw it all up. But yeah, there's a certain amount of luck that kind of comes with that stuff, and luck's not my thing. Let's see, TSST, I have fiber internet, best decision I ever made. It's fast and I haven't had a problem with it so far. Yeah, I'd love to try it, but yeah. I'll eventually. I mean, we kind of moved into this place kind of as a stopgap anyway. We weren't planning on moving for a few years. But if I get into a place that we want to, I know I'm trying to break this so I can. I don't want to get too hard on it, but yeah, if we get into a place in the next few years, Casey's here. Let's see. If we get into another place in the next few years where I can build something like that permanently, I think it'll be kind of cool.
Casey, where's my money, ho?
Yeah, where's the money, Casey?
You can buy Girl Scout cookies.
Let's see. Yeah, buy Girl Scout cookies. She'll write off your
$200 debt.
your whatever it's called. We'll call it a dowry. Let's see.
Call it dowry.
Patrick says, "Have you heard about this fancy thing called dial-up?" Contact AOL for more
Oh,
information.
jeez. Come on now.
Let's see. Casey's in here blowing up a chat. Frank, thanks for coming by last night. Yeah, I hung out with Casey for a bit, and I kind of regretted it because a little bit of drinking, and it really fucked with my sleep last night. I ended up waking up like 9 o'clock. Then it took me an hour and a half to fall back to sleep, and I slept almost 1.
Yeah, he was cranky. Thanks, Casey.
Yeah, sleep has not been my friend lately, but we'll get there. You need to watch that cartoon Spider-Man. It's good. Yeah, I've heard. Yeah, he apologized. Sorry, Jen, I kept Frank up till 4.
4 o'clock?
It was a little before 4 when I came to bed.
Casey.
Oh,
You're grounded.
As long as she's blaming you. Yes, Casey, we talked about that. We're gonna be fucking around with the intro. I don't think we're gonna get to it tonight, but we're gonna work on something here soon. I think it'll be kind of dope. Tattooed Mom, what's up, Heather? Jumped on me again. She said, honestly, when it comes to making something and the materials raise questions, I found Google is sometimes the best place to go. Yeah, I've looked into it. I've looked into a couple of articles and stuff like that, and watched some other videos. And like I said, I'm pretty sure it's the air that gets caught in there. But what Derek is saying about different additives and stuff that make that not a problem, that kind of thing. But yeah, let's see. Spanksters, sup, bro? AJ Baldwin, what's going on, man? Appreciate it. What's going on, guys? Yeah, Marcus was telling me they're trying to make him a manager.
Yeah.
Told him it's a terrible idea.
Whatever, shut up. We've been making big people money.
You will be making big people money. Sadly, I'm making better money now than I was as a driver. That's the first time in my career I've ever been able to say that, which is not it's not how I like it to be. I kind of prefer it to be the other way around, but whatever. Let's see. Casey, I have something. This is TSS2. Casey, I have something in the works that will interest you. Stay tuned. Uh-oh. Let's go. Let's see. More money? Yeah, more money. Spankster says, I used to work with you. How have you been? I don't know. Who are you? You got to give me a name. Spanksters is... I don't know really anybody's internet handles outside of, like, the community.
Yeah, I know. I don't even know what Marcus' handle is.
He's Foxtrot.
Oh, yeah. I didn't know that.
He's Foxtrot. Yeah.
I'm Beaner. I don't know. I'm really not.
I didn't realize it at first either until I had the open a couple weeks ago. I did just like some random bullshit session.
Yeah. Oh, that's right.
I just put the link out there and was like, whatever. Here's anybody who wants to come in. I had like Mikkel and Casey for a while, a bunch of people.
Yeah, remember you told me Marcus.
And I just happened to see it said Foxtrot, and I was like, oh, hey, Marcus. I was like, what's up? Let's see. Tattooed Mama, Foxtrot, Spanksters. Spanksters is Eli. Which Eli? The Eli I worked with at ASPM? I know a couple Elis.
I don't know any Eli's.
I know a couple. But if you're the one from ASPM, cool. Played disc golf with Eli a couple times at ASPM. Better disc golf player than I am. Let's see, Casey says, Frank, Jen, the check is in the mail. Don't mind, it's post-dated until 2050.
I said if you buy cookies, I will forgive your debt that you owe me,
Buy some cookies. Buy some cookies.
The link is on mine and Frank's Twitter page. That is wet, and that is my sock.
I told you this because I poured all the water out. It was like this deep in water. And I can't start a fire where there's water.
I mean,
as any fireman will tell you.
I mean, whatever.
I think it might be about time for another log.
Can I put it up?
Yeah. Eli from Donato's. Oh, from Springboro? I worked with Eli there, didn't I?
I don't know, honey. You didn't tell me everybody's name, my love.
Just put it in there, babe. It's not going to burn if you hold it.
On this side.
Well, just put it where you want to put it.
That's where I want to put it. It's right there, but it's not going to catch on fire.
You got to put it over the fire like that. Maybe not like sticking straight up out of the thing like I did it, but you know. What I do with my fire poker. Here it is. Yeah. I took that thing out and put it over there.
I need to get you a longer fire poker. That's for the hot dog, isn't it?
No, this is a fire poker.
Oh, okay.
Why would it be curved if it was for the hot dogs? You wouldn't be able to put the hot
I don't
dogs
like
on
the
it.
fact this is wiggly.
I know, I'll fix it. It may just need to be screwed in differently. I'll mess with it when it's not, burning one day. Let's see. Where am I? I lost it.
I don't know. We're talking about Eli.
From Donato's, Casey is raw is laughing at something. Foxtrot put a link in there to something. I don't know. Spencer's been I was just stopping by. Know the manager. Did not work at Springboro. Eli at Fairborn? I've been in a couple of stores now.
Is it Eli and Fairborn that store?
I don't know. So many people roll through restaurants. It's hard. But yeah. But keep,
Hi.
yeah. Anyway, Eli, appreciate it, brother. Make yourself known. I mean, every now and again I'll do these hangouts and I'll just put the link out just for shits and giggles, just to anybody who wants to come in. So
Frank is terrible with names.
I am also
too,
terrible
so
with names.
Please don't hold that against him.
That has always been the
He
thing.
forgets my name.
I do sometimes. Who are
I'm
you?
his girlfriend.
Right, Jessica.
Jessica.
Good job.
Jessica.
Let's see. Foxtrot, link to cookies. I don't have the link on me right now. I'll put it in the description of the next video on Thursday. And I'll actually put it into my pre-done description so that way
It's
it'll be
on
in
my
there for a while.
Facebook page, Marcus.
And it's on her Facebook page, Marcus. So go do that. Who else is here? Connor! What's up, my brother? This is Hey Frank. Just want to pop in. Hope you're having a great new year in a new place. Cheers, my friend. We'll catch up soon. We must catch up soon. Yeah, there's definitely some Marvel stuff coming out. So hopefully Connor will be available to do some reviews for that, because it's gonna be an interesting Marvel year. Interesting Marvel year indeed. There's hopefully going to be some more news coming about Agatha, the new Agatha Harkness series. Supposed to get some new news. Let's see. What up, EJ? How's it going, girl? You guys watched 60 Days In yet? Did not watch it. No, I have not heard of it. What's it about? Not sure what it's about.
I don't know.
Tell me what it's about, Casey. If it's something interesting, I'll check it out. Emily, what's up, Emily? Foxtrot. That is a link. Well, that is a link, right?
Oh, did he post it in the chat? Is that what he's saying?
Oh, I don't know. I can't quite see the links in here because I'm not going through like YouTube. I'm going through
He probably
Streamlabs.
posted in the chat.
But let's see. Tattooed Mama said, I'm the same Frank. I can remember a face a lot easier than I can remember a name. Yeah, that's the bad part, is I remember people's faces really easily. But it's like some people I look at and I'm like,
And
I
then
know
they come up to
you.
him in public and they're like, hey, Frank. And he's like, hey. And I'm looking at him like, who the fuck
I'm
are
like,
they?
hey, guy. I do that thing. I'm like, hey, got you. Like, what's up?
You do. It's terrible.
Yeah, I try not to be that way, but fucking hey, I mean, it's like I'm old. I'll be 47 this summer, you know that?
Yeah.
I'm on the road
No,
to
you
50.
won't.
Yeah, I will.
You're 6 years old. Yeah, you will.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I'm turning 41. Yeah, you'll be
Told you.
47.
See? Don't doubt my math. 60 Days In about cops and people in jail.
That's too general,
Potentially
dude,
interesting.
But okay.
Well, I mean, it's potentially interesting. Is it kind of like a Scared Straight kind of thing, or just like a documentary? I don't know. Let's see. Jail. People going undercover in jail for 60 days. That sounds like it could be interesting. He says, yes, I posted the link for the cookies in chat. So the link for the cookies is in chat. So if you want to buy some cookies from Maria, her goal is 600 cookies.
Do it.
Do that by way of donations to the channel. What am I saying? Donate to the channel. I don't really care about her cookies. Donate to the Frank's New Computer Fund.
New computer fund. We're taking donations for cookies and new computer fund.
Donate to Frankie's kids. Let's see. Casey says, I think Frank only remembers me for bad reasons. You murdered Betty White. You say you murdered Anne Heche, even though you waited until she was in a coma near death for you. Like, she's going to die. You tried to act like you were some kind of oracle, but whatever. Let's see. Heather says, JP does that too, and then motions towards me saying, have you met my wife? Making me make the introduction.
Yeah.
That sounds like something JP would do.
Yeah. Yeah.
Casey says there's some episodes on YouTube. I might check it out. It sounds like it's kind of a Scared Straight thing or something like that. But there's tons of documentaries on there. I watched one a while back on the world's worst prisons. It was some older one, about 15 years old or so. It was on I want to say on Disney Channel. I was rolling around some of the Nat Geo documentaries, and there was one on there about the world's worst prisons or something like that. And I watched most of one as I was getting ready to fall asleep one night.
I wouldn't make it in prison. That'd be someone's bitch. I ain't gonna lie.
You're my bitch now.
Pretty sure it's the other way
What?
around. I'm
What?
pretty sure it's the other way. I'm pretty sure everyone would agree that it's the other way around.
Okay, so 1 in the chat if you think Jennifer's my bitch. 2 in the chat if you think that I'm Jennifer's bitch.
We all know the real answer, y'all. We all know. I say, baby, I want this. And he says, okay, I'll look. Someone already said, oh, look. Oh, look at that. Look at that. Look at that. Yeah.
Well, they don't know nothing. See, Emily's on my side. Emily's the only one of you that knows anything.
Emily doesn't know me, so therefore. She's just taking your word.
Emily's the only one of you that knows anything. I wonder if I don't have it plugged into the right one. That's why it's not charging. Let me switch these. Because this block has two charging things on it, and one of their different voltages. And I'm sure that plays into it somehow. I'm not sure how, because I'm kind of a moron when it comes to electronics. Or it's just too fucking gold.
See, look at that.
Let's see.
Everybody knows.
TSS, yeah, you guys don't know nothing.
Don't be salty.
Let's see. TSS2 says, which film would you rather watch, The 80 for Brady or The Magic Mike Last Stand? I would much rather watch 80 for Brady. That at least got some comedy that I might be into.
I'd rather snort some coke.
Yeah.
Shit.
I would rather fight the cocaine bear than to watch Magic Mike.
I'd rather eat a jalapeno.
Now, if anybody likes movies like Magic Mike, where it was almost no story and mostly naked guys that only have banana hammocks on, it's her.
No.
And even she looks at that movie and she's like, nah.
No.
that movie ain't good, yo.
Stupid as fuck. I walked out on that shit.
Let's face it, nobody's going to that movie to see great acting. Let's see. King of the Hill. Did I miss something about a King of the Hill? It may have been way back up there. Let's see. There was third Magic Mike. Who knew? Yeah, I didn't know either. They dropped that trailer and nobody saw it coming.
With what's her face?
That's why it didn't get a lot of buzz, because it was just like, it's something that Channing Tatum's doing. Honestly, when I did see the trailer, I kind of looked at it and I was like, this is something Channing Tatum is doing because he's contractually obligated. I don't think he actually wants to do this, but whatever. Sometimes that's why movies get made, because there's a contract that needs to be fulfilled somewhere, and some guys like, whatever. Porky's 3. As much as I love the Porky's franchise as a whole,
there was a third one?
There was a third one, and it's mostly forgettable. Like, the first and the second Porky's are classic movies. They should be in the National Film Registry, but they won't be because of their subject matter and, the sex and all that stuff. But
technicalities.
But the third one, the only reason... most of the crew didn't want to do it. Most of the cast didn't want to do it.
Yeah.
But the only reason they came back is because they had become such good friends doing the first two that they didn't want to go back unless they all went back. So they kind of suffered. As a matter of fact, the guy that created this series didn't have anything to do with the third one. He was just like, I'm done. I don't want to do it. So they just did it without him, and it ended up not being so great. Funny moments, but ultimately not as good as the first two. Let's see. That film came... it's doing one of those things again. Yeah, okay, so it just reconnected again. Hopefully you guys aren't getting too long of lag or something like that.
It doesn't. It's like for a split second.
Yeah, it's just annoying. Let's see. Casey says, I'm the new superstar in XXL Magic Mike. Yeah. Sure you are. You're Chunkendales. You're the Chunkendales dancer. EJ wants to see Rush Hour 4 so bad. I don't think Rush Hour 4 is going to happen. I know they've been talking about it for a couple of years, but the reality is I think Jackie Chan might be done. I think he might still be doing some choreography stuff, but I think all the acting he's doing is more acting now and not so much the action stuff. One movie I wanted to see a long time ago, I forgot to watch it, and I just found it again on one of the streaming services last night, and I put it on my list, was The Foreigner that he did with Pierce Brosnan. It's not the usual kind of comedy action thing that he does. It's like his daughter is caught in some kind of a terrorist event, explosion, and she's either hurt or killed, one of the two, and he's trying to find the people responsible, and Pierce Brosnan is some kind of a UN attaché or some kind of business person who I don't think is the bad guy, but he's trying to do things a different way, the more diplomatic way, and Jackie Chan just wants revenge. I know, it looked fantastic, and I've been wanting to watch it, I just haven't gotten around to it. TSS says Paul Blart 2 was only made so the film company could have a tax write-off. Yeah, that's another reason why movies sometimes get made. They just need to write off the money. Let's see. EJ says, you're okay, but trying to sleep a lot, stomach been hurting. So, sorry to hear that, EJ. Well, I hope we can entertain you for a while and make you feel a little bit better. Hope you're doing well. Casey says, Frank just predicted Jackie Chan's death. I didn't predict his death. I said he's not doing the action-y stuff anymore. That doesn't mean he's going to die. You, on the other hand...
Baby,
what?
that lock, the fire's up.
Well, it's as long as it's not going to fall out of the fire pit.
No, I just don't like it that high.
Well, it's... Where do you want it?
Right. I don't know. Under. I was trying to get it. That's not going to do anything, is it?
Well, you will if I can kind of... Put it down faster if I can move it around this way. Now that I've got this thing wedged in there. Don't mind me, guys. I'm just burning down my back porch. Whatever. It'll burn. There. That's kind of what I wanted to do with
That's
it.
what, yeah.
There we go.
Thank you, my
It'll
love.
burn down faster right there. Trying to push
Again,
it down.
who's
Anyway.
bitch?
Yeah. No, I did not, Casey. You're off your hinges. I would definitely share liquor with Frank and Jen. I bet you would.
Who's that?
Casey.
Yeah, you would, Casey.
You try to get me drunk and take advantage of me.
You
Here,
put it on
Frank.
OnlyFans.
Sure, Frank. Eat this Quaalude. Everybody's doing it. Next thing you know, there's all kinds of pictures of me out on the internet. A little more bourbon. Let's see. It's actually not so bad out tonight. I mean, it's cold. It's like in the 30s, but it's not terrible windy, which makes it a lot more tolerable.
My feet are cold, but I also stepped in water. So
You stepped on ice. You didn't step in water. Very different.
Whatever.
Very different. You guys want me to tell you something I learned about Jennifer tonight?
Shut up, Frank. Shh.
Let me
That
put
he
Jennifer
wants to be
on.
single?
Yeah, I learned that about Jennifer. Butterfly, what's up? Yeah, fireside chat. My dumb ass decided to go live up against Ken, knowing damn well he's gonna draw more than I, but whatever. That's all right.
Yeah, but you're just here to chit chat.
Go watch Ken too. I was in Ken's chat for a while last night. I was listening to him when I was at work. He was like, I'm gonna send Frank the link, all because I commented in his chat. He's like, I'm gonna send Frank the link, and I was like, I thought about it. I was like, do I really want to? And I was like, the text is on there. I kick it with text for a bit, and I haven't kicked it with Casey for a bit, and you know, AJ was on there for a while. Bottles was on there. It was good to talk to Bottles again. But yeah.
I don't want to hear any bitching.
Let's see, he said Butterfly likes the fireside chats. I like them too. I need to try. I'm really trying to get into my own store so I can set my own schedule on the regular, so that I can maybe do this once every couple of weeks, especially when the weather's nice out. Because a lot of people like to come here and just ask random questions and stuff like that. But then it kind of gives me some ideas as to other stuff to do for the channel. I've been knocking around this idea, doing like a current events thing, something similar to Derailed, not a regular thing, not every Sunday like Drew was doing it, but just maybe once every couple of weeks, getting the gang together and just talking about crazy shit, you know, whatever's going on in the world, whatever big stories, not really too many of the smaller ones, unless we can have some fun with them. But Casey said he's not in a hurry for a PS5. PS4 Pros, yeah, PS4 Pro's good enough for me. I'm not in a hurry to get a PS5 either.
Even though he really wants one.
I mean, I do want one. I'm not going to lie, but I'm not in a hurry.
Do you need another log on?
I'll get one when I get one.
Babe?
Oh?
Do you need another log on?
Yeah. That's why I put the smaller ones up here on the patio, the bigger ones over there. Because I figured the smaller ones would be able to burn in whatever fire pit we put up here, and then the bigger ones we'll save for out there. Put another log on the fire. Casey says last night was fun. Last night was fun. I didn't realize that Bottles was so offended by my thoughts on Bigfoot.
Oh my gosh, Frank told me all about that shit.
Like I said, I think it'd be cool if Bigfoot did exist. And hey, don't get me wrong. I would if I had the ability to just go to like the Pacific Northwest or to some place where Bigfoot is said to roam. I would 100% get a group of guys together, just go there and look for like a weekend, or maybe even like a whole week. Just take some gear, go in there, do some extreme camping. We'll look around. We'll see what kind of shit we can do. See if we can find Bigfoot. I think it's awesome. But yeah, I would totally do it, even knowing damn well that I probably wouldn't find anything. Let's see, Mike Hunt, what's going on, man? That's a Porky's reference.
What, Mike Hunt?
Yeah.
Mike Hunt is a Porky's reference?
Yeah.
I've never watched Porky's.
Okay, say the name.
Mike.
Say the whole name.
Mike Hunt.
Nice.
Nice.
It took Jennifer a minute.
Nice.
Mike Hunt. She goes, oh, now I get it.
Nice.
So, Good job with the name, Mike Hunt. Good name. Good job. Let's see. I think I lost it again. Saying, hey guys. Let's see. Butterfly. What show do you think Frank should watch? I don't know. What shows do you guys think I should watch? I know coming up is going to be Last of Us. Jeremy's really into that, and I think the trailers look amazing, and Pedro Pascal is amazing. The guy's on a huge fucking win streak right now. I mean, even though Wonder Woman 84 didn't do very well critically, a lot of people liked him in it. I thought he was amazing in it. Shows a lot of range, too, because he's kind of that weird used car salesman hack of a scammer in that movie, and then he goes on to play the Mandalorian. Now he's playing this post-apocalyptic survivor in Last of Us. So there's great range with that guy. He's a fantastic actor. Casey, as Ross says, he still wants Bigfoot's head on his wall. Why you always want to kill things, Casey? Don't you just want to kick it with Bigfoot? I want to roll up there and be like, hey, Bigfoot, here's some bourbon. Yeah, let's have a drink. Let's talk about your life. Let's learn about you. I think that'd be cool as
lonely.
shit. Casey is lonely. His dog doesn't even like him. TSS says, like I said last night, I believe a person who's Bigfoot believer than a flat earther like Casey. Yeah, Casey. See? Bigfoot people have more credibility than flat earthers, Casey.
Okay, Liz.
The ghost talk was creepy while I was in the dark, says Butterfly. Yeah, I don't even think there was all that much ghost talk. It was like somebody said, do you believe in ghosts? And I was like, I believe there's a possibility. I can't say I've ever seen anything. That's kind of really where it all went. But let's see. Where am I at? Ghost talk was creepy. Casey's laughing at something because he doesn't know what else to talk about. Butterfly says, what about that Megan movie coming out, Frank? I want to see it. It looks interesting. Critical reviews have been a little mixed, but fan reviews have actually been really good. So
That's creepy as fuck.
just going on the fan reviews, I'm actually pretty jazzed about seeing it. I'm going to try to get out next week to go see it. I'll probably go see it during the day when Jennifer's at work because horror's not really her thing.
It is not.
She's very much like, no big deal.
Alright, I'm gonna go to bed.
Jennifer's going to bed. So there was more ones in the chat than there was twos, right?
No, there are more twos than ones.
One in the chat.
There was more twos.
If
Everyone knows that you're my bitch.
one in the chat, if Jennifer's my bitch, and two in the chat, if Jennifer's my bitch.
Everyone knows that you're my bitch.
Or three in the chat if you don't understand. Casey, you're just putting a lot of threes.
Casey's my bitch too, don't lie.
Yeah, Casey, you're everybody's bitch. Can't wait for Black Panther 2 on Disney Plus. Yeah, it's coming out this month or next month? Next month. Yeah,
I haven't
next
seen
month.
it yet.
I think next month is coming out on Disney Plus. Are you going to bed?
I am. Love you.
Love you.
Bye, everybody.
Everybody say bye, Jennifer. But let's see. TSS says season 1 of The Last of Us should be good. Now season 2, if they're doing the storyline from part 2, then yeah, they might have problems. See, I don't know much about the game. Jeremy knows a lot more about the game. He's played the game. Me, I'm very much not that much of a gamer, except for some of that the really in-depth stuff. It's not really my thing anymore. It's like I used to play games like a lot when I was in my 20s, but as I got older, it was like I can play a couple rounds of Call of Duty or a couple rounds of like Fortnite or something, and I'm done. It's like I'll play for half hour, then I'm out. And that's my video gaming now. It's like usually if I jump on there and play with like Casey or somebody like that, that's usually when you'll see me play longer because I'll have somebody to play the game with, and that will keep me involved. But for the most part, it's like I'll rattle off a few rounds of some shooter before I leave to go to work just to kind of get the blood flowing a little bit or to get my brain working, and that's pretty much it. That's all the gaming I do anymore, really. Because my iPad decided it wants to work yet. I really want to keep it closer to the fire. Hey, it's on now. And now it says it's 100% charged. Whatever, you piece of shit. Stupid iPad. My guess is the cold got to it. No, I do not want to do anything special. Don't forget to like the stuff, by the way, guys. Need the likes. Also, don't forget the merch. Jeremy talked me into the merch. And I was talking to Nick from Lost River Driving as well. And I told him that I thought doing merch was a little bit above my station. It's a little too high for me. didn't see the point in doing merch when I've got 426 subs. That I feel like that's the kind of thing you get into when you do when you get to be like 1,000 subs or something like that. But he said that it doesn't cost any money, so what's the problem with doing it? He's like, and you know, you sell a shirt, you make a few bucks. You sell a shirt, you make a few bucks. And that if one day we did manage to become like a good sized YouTube channel, then I already have that piece of the infrastructure in place. But I'm like, whatever. Let's see. Problem with merch, people like Joe Cronin barely move merch. Well, I mean, yeah, I mean, that's the thing I've noticed with merch is I noticed that if you have like if you constantly come out with some new stuff, like you have those fans out there that are sycophants, they're just like, they have to have the new thing from this one entity that they support. So so they're like, oh, a new shirt came out from, you know, Joe Cronin, I have to go buy the shirt. And it's like, so that's where you make the money, is by coming out with something new. One of the things that I had said, I told Jeremy, is that I want to try to come out with like every season, I want to come out with like a new kind of design to kind of keep it fresh. So Jeremy's working on one. I've got an idea for one, but I kind of want to, like, for Easter I want to do one, and then maybe for like Valentine's Day I want to do one, then maybe one for like 4th of July, do like a 4th of July kind of thing. And then, of course, like Thanksgiving, Christmas, Halloween, things like that. But yeah, I mean, there's a lot that goes into it like that. So, you know, whatever. TSS says, I was disappointed at the end of my fantasy football season. So was I. I didn't win. I really wanted it to be you versus me, Frank, in the championship, but I guess things happened. Well, I mean, I had the best record in the league. It wasn't like I got my ass kicked. My money league, that was awful. I went 2-11 in my money league. I went 3-11. I could not get anything to go right. I caught everybody on their big weeks. I had so many guys lay eggs. As soon as I would stick with a quarterback, and then if my quarterback didn't work out, I would switch him out, and then I would, and then as soon as I switched him out, that's when he'd have a big game. It was like, it was just terrible. So my money league wasn't a whole lot of money, so I'm not really upset about losing. I mean, things did get a little screwed by what happened in Cincinnati Monday night with the guy getting hurt and all that. Thankfully, we got some good news from him today, if you haven't heard. But I mean, I don't think it would have mattered much to me anyway. So, you know, I just go with it. Let's see. Jennifer says she can make stickers for my show for your guys' car. She actually did make one that I had on my other car before my car got stolen, and she made another one that I was going to put on my car before my son wrecked it. My son wrecked it, and now that's in a box somewhere. And I don't really want to put anything on Jennifer's car because her car is hopefully going to be going away here soon anyway. But yeah, that's kind of that. Alex the Garbage Man, what's up, guys? This is a great show for the Fireside AMA. Good evening, good sir. What's going on, guys? Yeah, go check out Alex. Go check out Dr. Nick. Did you guys switch nights? Because I've been looking for you guys on Mondays. Because on Mondays I do a lot of like office work and stuff like that. So I'm usually in the office later in the night. Usually not during your guys' stream, but later in the night towards my store's closing time. For the couple hours I'm there, I'll either put on your guys. I was looking to put on either your guys' show or Tim Pool, but. I was looking for your guys' show Monday night. I think, did you guys move nights? We were still on Mondays at 6 p.m. Pacific. Okay, weird, because I know there was a couple of Mondays I went and looked and I didn't see you guys on. So I don't know, maybe I just wasn't looking close enough. But yeah, I'll find you guys. I do watch you guys. I still watch a lot of guys. I still watch Night Watch. I still watch a lot of these people. I just don't get a chance to get into live streams as often as I'd like. So, and I don't think to comment and let you guys know that I'm actually watching your guys' stuff. So, but please know if you guys are putting anything out that I am watching. I just don't get a chance to watch live the way that I would like to. I really, really like to try to watch some stuff live. I managed to dump into one of Night Watches a few days ago and got to hang out with them for a while, which was cool. But yeah, Alex the Garbage Man. Go check them out in the description below as well. Let's see, Casey said, I would buy stickers from Frank. Yeah, stickers is one of the things on there. If you guys are at all familiar with Teespring, which is the platform we're going through, it's like you can make t-shirts, hoodies, you can make like mouse pads, iPhone cases and stuff like that, and you're allowed to pick like 15 things, but I'm like, I don't really want any of that crap. It's like, I wouldn't buy it. Like if Drew were to put his logo on that shit, I would buy like a t-shirt or something, but I can't say that I would that I would go buy all these other things to be like the walking billboard. I'm not that obsessive about anybody that I watch. I mean, even me. So I can't. Excuse me. I can't justify putting all that shit out there hoping that you guys would buy it. So there's some Comfort Fit T-shirts, and there's stickers, and there's a hoodie. And I tried to lower the price of the hoodie as much as I could without just making nothing for it. So I'm not making a lot. The hoodies are only like $44. I'm gonna buy one at some point. I might go in there and buy one tonight. But yeah, I mean, I thought about maybe trying to make like a community design, work everybody's logo in there somewhere, and just for whatever. But let's see. Alex says we took the last 2 weeks of December off. That's probably why I was missing you guys. But yeah. So yeah, if you guys are back on Mondays, I'll be catching you guys on Mondays. Probably after 10 o'clock my time is usually when I'm sitting down in my office to do a couple hours of office work to do my end of the week stuff. So yeah, I'm definitely still watching you guys. Let's see. Tex says Fireside Frank should be your name when you do these shows. Yeah, whatever. I mean, honestly, what I'd like to do is I'd like to get like some people like here around the fire, set up a camera right there. I am actually going to be getting an UBS, whatever it is, extension cord that I can plug my camera into and run it to like a different part of my house, so I can maybe do some different stuff. But I don't know about all that. I also want to mess with different camera angles, but because we're really limited on space here, it's kind of difficult to even really think too much about it. But yeah, because that was an idea that I had at our old house when I was under the impression that eventually my son would be moving out and we would have that whole other room that I could make my studio, and then Jennifer could just have the rest of the house and the studio would just be my zone. But yeah, so there's different things. There's different things. We'll work out eventually. Yeah, what I'd like to do is I'd like to get some people here, put up some chairs. We're gonna get Jeremy and Rachel because they live close enough. Aaron and his girlfriend because they live close enough. Just get them around here, put up a couple of cameras, and then just like, we just sit here and talk and bullshit and have, whatever, have some drinks and have some fun. I think that'd be a fun thing to do. So it would be kind of like the Uber fireside chat, start a fire and drinks, hot dogs, marshmallows, s'mores, whatever. And, sit here and just kind of hang out and stuff like that. Let's see, where was I at? Drew should sell his Fish Lips t-shirt. Yeah, he should. Fireside Frank, Tex is here. Oh, Jennifer likes that idea, Tex. Let's see. Tex has a great suggestion. Fireside Frank. I like the Fireside AMA because that's ultimately what I want this to be anyway. It's just, throw me some questions. Question me on this whole Mike McCarthy thing, which was a fucking joke from the jump, but, whatever. Let's see. Give me a plane ticket and either stay at your place or give me a hotel room and I'll come do the fire pit stream. Yeah, but I have to invite you. Yeah, we're not going to do that. Let's see. Does anyone like to knit or crochet? I do not like to knit or crochet. Jennifer is very crafty, although I think knitting and crocheting is not her thing. But she is very crafty. One of the reasons why she has this big table where she keeps her computer and everything at for her work is because she also has this Cricut machine that does what Cricut machines do. If you guys know what the Cricut machine is, you know what I'm talking about. But she does her crafty stuff. She makes those stickers like I had on the back of my car. She could make, maybe I'll have her make one and send it to you, Casey. She'll make like a Casey's Raw logo on a sticker. And then all you have to do is, it's like a transfer. You just put it on your back window of your car and peel it off, and it's right there on your car window. But yeah, I had one on my old car for a long time. I've been thinking about it, although it's just like things keep coming up, getting her to make one of those things that says like subscribe to the harsh truth that goes across your back window, and just putting that on like our cars just as like a way to advertise around here anyway. But maybe. Jennifer says she used to crochet, but she forgot how. I never knew she crocheted. Let's see. Well, you see, Alex, you guys are only just across the border into Canada. I mean, you guys are probably actually closer to me than Casey is, if not closer by a little, probably roughly the same distance away. I mean, you guys are. I mean, not knowing exactly where you guys are at in Canada, assuming you're somewhere in Eastern Canada, you're not that far away from me. So I mean, hey, anything's possible. And I've been looking for a good reason to get up someplace like Toronto or Montreal. I've heard those cities are beautiful, so maybe there will be a on the road thing. As long, once travel restrictions ease up and stuff like that, and I can cross the border a bit more freely. Let's see. EJ says is offering crocheting lessons to Jennifer. Hey, whatever, do them online. I've been trained to sew wounds on people and animals, but not clothes. Yeah. I mean, how hard is it to sew a wound on somebody? You know what I mean? EJ is so talented with crochet. My mom crocheted when I was young. I don't think she's done it for years since I was a kid. But, yeah, she used to do stuff. But that's what women back in the 70s and early 80s did. About again. Try number 2. Oh, okay. Oh, now it's reconnected. Okay. Now that my iPad is working, I've got the stream up and able to see exactly what goes on with the... Yeah, I'm streaming from my phone right now, Tex, because my iPad wanted to be a dick as I was getting the fire started and wanted to stop working. But, so I had to download Streamlabs on my phone real quick because I have it on my iPad. This is where I usually do these kinds of things from is my iPad. But, you know, the only reason I even downloaded Streamlabs onto my iPad was because I was thinking about doing some live streams when we were in Texas last year, or year before last, as it were, last December. And I just didn't do it because we were busy doing shit. We were only there for, I think, maybe 3 full days, so there was no time to sit and do any kind of a live stream. So I never bothered you. But I kept it on here just in case. Let's see. Casey says, Frank, if you and Jen come to Oklahoma, I'll let you stay at my place in the guest room and sleep in my old childhood twin bed. Sure. As long as you're not in it. As long as you don't make me sleep in the basement where you keep making children sleep. I may have to go get some more wood for the fire. Actually, this fire is burning really, really well. I think I might just leave it for a minute. Yeah, maybe one more log. I'm afraid if I let it go too long, the stuff that's on top will just burn down really quickly. Yeah. Give me 1 second, guys. I'll be right back. I think one more big log. Let's see. Sorry, I don't like dead air. I don't know. I'm thinking regular size log and one bigger log. Probably put a regular log right there. Right there. And I think that'll be the last logs I probably put on the fire. Because this fire pit's actually burning really, really well. I'm kind of digging what's happening here. So I have a feeling those logs might be the last ones I need to put on there. Let's see. Party at Casey's, break out the wiffle bats. No doubt. Wiffle bats my ass. They're real bats. Texas, if you stay for Casey's, you may never be seen again. Yeah, probably not. Let's see. Jennifer's like, nah, baby, nah. She says, we'll rent a hotel and buy our meals. Let's see. Alex says, party at Casey's, break out the wiffle bats. Texas points. No, that's why I share my location with people. I share my location with people. I want people to come fuck with me. You know what's on my hip right now, son? Other than my bottle of bourbon. Let's see. So, well, there's the catch. Not only do they have to sleep in my old twin bed, they have to be in the same room with my late wife's urn. That's creepy. Well, she's probably better company than you, Casey. At least she shuts the hell up. Oh, goodness. What do you guys got going on? You know, I just realized that when I did these at the old house, I had like the hose out as well. My hose is not currently hooked up because it's winter and you don't want to leave your hose hooked up in the winter because it can help your pipes freeze, and I don't want my pipes to freeze because that causes problems, as you all probably know. And I do not have any way to actually put this fire out. So what I may have to do once I'm done with the stream is I may have to go get, I think my watering can for my flowers is in the garage right over there. I may have to go get the watering can filled up with water in the sink and douse this thing if it's not out by the time I am ready to go in. But I'm looking to be here another 45 minutes or so. As long as there's some people watching. There's 5 of you in there right now. Like I said, I didn't realize till I'd come home that I had forgotten that Ken was probably going to go live. I got a notification on him a little bit ago. So I know most people are probably watching Ken. It's cool. I watched Ken too. It was a good time watching him last night. Boy, that one piece of wood in there, it's burning, but it's not going anywhere. It must be really carbonized. Get this fire pit a little bit closer so I get a little more of that heat. Because it is a cool one tonight, son. Whew. Yeah, but how you guys doing? See, Alex says once you're in the stream, you can start another. You can see from there. Once you end the stream, you can start another. Meaning, start the new nation, your nation. Meaning, put out the fire. Yeah. Well, I just took a piss before I came out here to start this. I don't really need to piss yet, and I don't know if I can piss enough to put out an entire fire. Like I said, worst case scenario. I mean, my kitchen is literally 5 feet that way, so a couple glasses of water ought to do it if that's where I end up. But yeah, I know. I don't think you guys would be able to see it but like over in that direction, that's where the big fire pit's going to be. I was talking to Jennifer's best friend's husband, Robbie, and what they did in their front yard is he ran some like string lights out on some posts that he had put in some cement blocks, and he runs string lights all down his front yard. That's where they do all their hanging out and stuff, because like I said, they don't have much of a backyard. It's this big. So he ran some like lights out, but it looks kind of cluttered, I don't really know if I want to clutter it. I'm kind of a minimalist when it comes to shit like that. So I don't really want to put a bunch of lights up. But at the same time, because my backyard goes way back there, I actually have a very big backyard for the relatively small house that we have. Because it goes way back there, what I thought about doing was getting like a small solar thing, putting it up like along there where I know it's going to get a lot of good sun away from the trees, and hooking the lights up to that. I thought about that. It might be a little pricey. I'm not sure. I have to look into exactly what it's going to cost. But that would be a good way to have my backyard lit all the time and not have to pay and not have to run wires. I mean, because the only exterior plug I have right now is right there by my back door, and I wouldn't want to run like a whole shit ton of lights off it, because then you worry about drawing too much electricity and setting the place on fire. And I don't know. Thinking about it. Let's see. Casey says, never thought trying to put out a fire with me passing on it. Well, you should pass on the fire, Casey. Yeah, go take a pass. Go drink some pass. All I've done is watch football and a Vincent Price movie today, says Tex. Well, hey, that's not terrible. There's worse ways to spend a Saturday. TSS says, yep, football and God of War Ragnarok for me. I haven't played God of War Ragnarok. I think I played the first one. I didn't really get into it. It was a little too open world for me, that, and I'm not into like the sword and shield stuff very much, but I remember fun graphics for the first one, but that was a long, long time ago. See, Casey says, I need to get God of War Ragnarok. Let's see, TSS says, it's a good game so far. Butterfly says, are any Elvis movies on tomorrow? Is Elvis's birthday the 8th? There should be. Damn it, there should be Elvis movies on all the time. What was I watching recently? I think it was Thanksgiving. We'd gone over to my sister-in-law's parents' house for Thanksgiving dinner, and we got over there insanely early because I had the wrong time, and they were still preparing stuff. And they had one of the movies where he had the little Oriental girl with him, and I was just watching. I was like, Elvis is just good at everything. I was enjoying the movie, to say the least. Let's see, Mike Hunt says Casey wants Bigfoot to give him a golden shower during Power Hour. He just wants to rub his hairy, Anyway, he's eating pissing, damn autocorrect. Oh, goodness gracious. Yeah, Jennifer knows too. You sure you meant pissing, Casey? Sure you did. Uh, Butterfly says he's been listening to Elvis all day. Elvis made good music. I've been by Graceland. I've never been in Graceland. Actually, last time I was down there was many, many years ago, because I have relatives that actually live in a town called Olive Branch, Mississippi, which, like Memphis is right here. The border of Tennessee and Mississippi is right there, and then just south of that is Olive Branch, which is the town where a lot of my family lives. And so they literally, well, when my aunt passed away, the house that her and my uncle lived in was literally a 10 or 15 minute drive from Graceland. You go out there, cul-de-sac, go right, make a right on, I want to say it was Brooks Road, and Brooks Road, as you go up a couple of miles, turns into Elvis Presley Boulevard, and then up on the right is Graceland. We didn't go in Graceland when I was there, but we did go check out across the street. All his planes are there, which was pretty cool. We got to walk around one of his airplanes, and this was many, many years ago. This was 96, 97, somewhere around there. And so that was really cool. I've been telling myself the next time I go down to visit my family, I'm definitely going to have to pop into Graceland, because I would like to go check it out. Let's see. Texas. That's cool. Elvis is never my thing. I'm glad you enjoy it. Yeah, Elvis is. I don't know that Elvis would be famous today the way that he was famous back then, because being famous was different back then. Famous people were so inaccessible back then. Nowadays, I feel like famous people are more accessible. It's like you could go almost anywhere in LA and see a famous person. And the fact that travel is so much easier, we have the internet. Sometimes you can like tweet a celebrity and they'll tweet you back. It's like you didn't have that back in the 50s and 60s. So he was this otherworldly. So famous people as a whole were otherworldly figures back then. There wasn't this idea that you could just see him. Nowadays, you go any place in LA and you can see Rob Lowe having lunch at a burger place. You can see, whoever eating whatever's wherever. Well, the wind changed and blew the smoke right at me. I don't know if you guys saw that big puff of smoke coming at me or not. Now it's going the other way, thank God. But yeah, nowadays celebrities are way more accessible than they once were. So I don't know that he would be famous today the way that he was famous then. If you brought Elvis out, not 900-year-old Elvis like he would be in real life, but if you brought Elvis and made him popular today, I don't think that his popularity would be the same, because being celebrity was very different back then. But yeah, I mean, but he hit extreme celebrity levels where he probably didn't have. I mean, you hit extreme celebrity levels, and it becomes impossible to do things. I mean, they were doing stuff for Elvis like they do for the president these days. Like if he wanted to go have a cheeseburger somewhere, like celebrities today, as famous as they might be, they can go into McDonald's, sit and have a burger. I mean, yeah, some people might bother them, but they don't feel compelled to order out because they can't go out. Whereas Elvis, I mean, I've heard stories about like when he wanted to go to a diner and have a burger, they would literally have to like buy out the diner for 2 hours so that he could sit there and have a fucking hamburger and and just sit there like a regular person, just not surrounded by anybody. The stories like that are kind of they're kind of everywhere about Elvis. But yeah, it's celebrity's different now than it was many, many years ago. I just remembered I have a little cooler thing on the side of this that I have not yet opened. I actually just went and bought this lawn chair today. I needed another one to keep back here, and there's a little cooler right here. It's got a bottle opener. Anyway, that's kind of cool. But yeah, so learned something new about my new lawn chair today. Oh, it's got zippers. Yay! To keep my whatever I want to put in there warm. I don't know, so I can put a couple of silver bullets in there. But yeah, so celebrity is a lot different. Let's see. Same about being in the airport in LA too with the celebrities. Funny story. When I took my oldest son to California, we flew back through LAX, and who did we see at LAX but Jerry the King Lawler? I just kind of I didn't want to bother him. He was I think WrestleMania was in town that year, and I think this was the day after WrestleMania, and. Yeah, I think he was probably flying out because he had his WWE labeled bag. He was with some girl that I was hoping was his daughter, but I'm pretty sure probably wasn't. And she was a fairly attractive, mid-late 20s, But I saw him. I knew right away it was him. And at the time, my son was still into wrestling. And I told him, I was like, you want to go see if he'll take a picture? He goes, no. He was kind of, I think he was intimidated by the celebrity, which I am not, because I grew up in California. I'd met celebrities before. But yeah, I was kind of like, oh, okay, whatever. And I ended up not really just kind of bothered. I kind of walked by, we made eye contact for a minute. I just kind of nodded at him and walked by, and he nodded and walked by. I didn't want to be a dick, because that's the one thing about being famous, and I'm sure would probably be annoying, is you can't do little things without people freaking out. But whatever. Let's see. Casey's retracting messages. That means he probably said something stupid. Tech says the childhood celebrity crush follows him on Twitter, so yeah, life's pretty good. Who's your childhood celebrity crush? I'm curious now. Let's see, who's the crush? Oh, Casey was thinking the same thing I was thinking. Let's see, says it's the male girl from Monster Vision. I don't know who that is off the top of my head. TSS says it's like when Tommy NC brags that Pauly Shore responded to his response of his tweet. If Pauly Shore, I don't think he's that busy right now. I mean, Pauly Shore's kind of busy. I mean, whatever. He's still doing stuff. He still does stand up. He still tours. He was on Rogan's podcast a couple of years ago, and I think maybe Rogan had put him on there because Rogan was really tight with his mom, Mitzi. Mitzi ran the Comedy Store in L.A. for years and years and years and years. Let's see. Alex Garbage Man, to paraphrase what you've said many times in the past, Frank, double the fortune, hold the fame. Yeah. I mean, I would love to be famous, but I want nothing to do with fame. Too many people get too fucked up. It's just, it never really works out well. I was talking with somebody at work yesterday. We're talking about the lottery, and they've got this Mega Millions thing that's back up around like $1 billion. And I was saying, have you ever noticed that the people that win the lottery and their lives go to hell and they either end up dead or broke again like a couple years later, those are the people that after they win the lottery, they have the press conference, they announce themselves to the world, they want all the attention, and then 2 years later they're broke and destitute again. Some of them are worse off than they were before they won the lottery. I was like, the ones that tend to win the lottery and do well are the ones that don't do that. They just take their money and then they go, they do some things. I'm sure they might buy themselves a nicer house, a nicer car, but they don't splurge. They even go as far as putting the money to work, so to make more money, which is what I would do. I mean, me personally, if I were to win a big lottery pot, let's see, what I'd probably do is I would probably have Jennifer and I a house built, not anything too glamorous and huge, probably 4 bedrooms, 2-car garage, finished basement that I could have like a studio in, or a finished basement that I could split between like my studio and Jennifer's office, and she works from home predominantly now. And a decent sized yard like what I have here. That's all I want. As far as cars, I don't need a Lamborghini. I don't need a Ferrari. I mean, I would like to have like a nicer, newer car. It's something that Jennifer, like a nice, comfortable SUV or something that Jennifer can use for all of her Girl Scouty stuff that she does. She likes bigger cars. I don't. Number 1. Retry number 1. Reconnected. Yay. But no, what I would do is I would have a house built. I would probably, me and Jennifer would go on vacation while it's being built. There's some places around the world I'd like to see that I probably wouldn't get to otherwise. I'd like to go to some places in Europe. I'd like to go to England. I'd like to go see places like Buckingham Palace. I'd like to see Balmoral. Maybe get a chance to hang out with old King Charlie. I'm sure me and him would be fast friends. Big fan of the Queen I was, of course. Still am. And I'd do some traveling, then come back, have my house, and then I'd go back to work. I'd start a business. I mean, I would do something to keep myself busy. It'd be nice to be able to work because I want to and not work because I have to. I mean, so few people get to do that. I mean, don't get me wrong, I like my job and all, but I'd rather not work all the fucking time. You know what I mean? Let's see. Marcus is leaving. Night, Marcus. Later, brother. Butterfly said the Elvis movie was amazing. I've heard a few mixed reviews about it. It's on streaming and I need to watch it. I never got a chance to get to the theater to watch it. I just had too much shit going on. But I'll give it a go. I've heard that Butler, the kid that played Elvis, was actually very good in it. So, I'm gonna have to sit down and watch that at some point. Let's see. It was probably his extremely young girlfriend. Well, yeah, Casey. That's exactly who that was his extremely young girlfriend. Yeah, she looked like she was mid-late 20s at the old, maybe 30 on the high end. According to Casey, Jerry Lawler isn't long for this world. Yeah, well, what does Casey know? It's like, yeah, you're looking at an old person and saying you're going to die soon. That's I mean, it's not exactly hedging your bets. You know what I mean? It's like same thing with Anne Heche. Remember that? Remember when Anne Heche had driven her car into a building, caught fire, and was like on the verge of death when we even knew what had happened to her. And then Casey's like, she's gonna die. It's like, congratulations, Casey. You pointed at a person who was on their deathbed and said they're gonna die. you're not exactly Nostradamus on that one. Let's see. The idea of being famous is cool until you're actually famous. Yeah, it's like it's a whole new set of problems. I mean, it's like look, Biggie said it. He's like, more money, more problems. It's like having a lot of money brings a different set of circumstances to your life, and that's the way it is. So, yeah, like I said, a lot of that stuff is just how you handle it. Some people get famous and they get stupid, especially these people that become famous overnight on TV shows. You get people that go on things like, American Idol or something like that, and they go from being, a waitress in fucking Sheboygan, Wisconsin or some shit to getting a record deal and going on tour. And when your life changes that drastically that fast, it's got to break something in your head sometimes, you know what I mean? And it's rare anymore that some people can kind of keep their shit together when they experience that kind of thing in life. Look, I know some really, really strong-minded people that if they were to come across fame with very little notice, that they would probably just fall to pieces. Now, these are some strong people that I know that would probably fall apart, but, whatever. Let's see. Alex thinks that Casey's going to kill Jerry Lawler. Well, it's entirely possible. So FBI, I have his address if you need to go check up on him. Let's see. Casey says, I'm not wishing him death, but his future doesn't look good to me. Well, the guy has had a couple of heart attacks. Let's be perfectly honest here. Again, you're not Nostradamusing anything here. You know what I mean? Let's see. Casey said, if I win the $1 billion Powerball, I would give Frank a new sports car with the brake lines cut. That makes perfect sense. Well, that's the thing about a sports car. Who uses the brakes? Who uses the brakes on a fucking sports car? I'll coast to a stop. TS says, if I won the lottery, I would still do YouTube as a hobby, but treat it more professionally, top-notch house, and make one movie just to say I made a movie and chill. Yeah, I need to get going on the movie I was trying to make. I was trying to get this short film made, and then a bunch of stuff just kind of kept getting thrown at me. I took the new job at work, and then the sudden move. I actually wanted to film it last summer, but that all got kind of screwed, and then Halloween came around, and I was like, I don't know if, because Jeremy was talking about filming it where he works, and I don't know if I want to roll in there in their busy time of year and be like, hey, I want to fucking film in your shit while you're trying to make money and be that kind of an asshole. So I don't know. I'll figure it out. That's one of the things I want to get going in the new year. Is I want to get that done. I want to see how good I do at that. Let's see. Jennifer says, Casey, why are you always trying to kill people? I think you need to seek help. Casey needed help before he started killing people. Let's be honest here. Mike Hunt says, yes, get some help, you heartless soul. Tex says, if I ever get rich, start getting a NASCAR team and producing my own horror film. That'd be awesome. One of the things that I've read about beginning filmmaking is that horror is actually a great place to start because it's easier to hide some of your rookie mistakes in filmmaking in horror films. That's why you saw a lot of people like Sam Raimi got his start in horror films. James Wan got his start in horror films, and now they're branching out to other things. But I've heard that horror is actually a good place to start. So that's why I one of these days I was at work, I was thinking about it, and I was trying to think of something to do for like a short film. And I was thinking about Jeremy, and it popped into my head that he does this thing at the Haunted Cave. Why not try to twist that into a tale of some kind? And that's how it kind of became this idea for the script that I've written. So, we'll get around to it, I'm sure. Butterfly says, if I won the $1.1 billion, I would hide under the sheets for a few days. I wouldn't. I tell you, the first thing I do is I go hire a lawyer. I've actually read some articles about this, like what to do if you win the bajillion dollar, any big lottery prize really, is that it's like the first thing you do is you go talk to a lawyer. Because a lawyer is going to have to help you deal with the taxes. A lawyer is going to have to help you deal with a bunch of stuff. You can't just have that money deposited into your bank account. You'll often have to have it spread amongst different accounts because the FDIC only insures it up to so much money. So if they do something that screws up that money, if you have like $1 million in a bank account, the FDIC only insures it up to like $200,000 or something like that. So if something happens to that bank account, the FDIC will only give you your $200,000 back, not your $1 million, which is kind of sucks because you'd be out $800,000. So I mean, there's all kinds of things to deal with when it comes to dealing with that much money. Another thing that you don't think about dealing with money until you actually have that much money to deal with. But yeah, so there's a lot to go into it. That's why I've always thought that if I won the lottery, the first thing I'd do is I'd say, like, okay, Jennifer, we're going to lock this up somewhere. If I even told Jennifer. Shh. But we're going to lock this up somewhere, and we're going to go call a lawyer. We're going to work some stuff out. Then we're going to call the lottery commission and be like, hey, I got this ticket here. Let's get this going. And then whatever. Would anybody get the cash option or the payout or the payment option? To me, I figure if you're like in your early 20s, the payment option might work. But if you're over the age of 30, I would suggest just going and taking the one-time payment option, because if you die 3 years later, your family doesn't get that money. They just stop paying you. So instead of getting your 1.1 billion over however many years, you've gotten a couple $1,000,000 out of it, and then if you pass away suddenly, they just stop cutting those checks. They don't go to your family or anything. Oh, I haven't really needed these ice cubes tonight. It's fairly cool out here. Whew. Yeah. Yes, I would tell you. Of course I would tell you. Why wouldn't I tell you? But, I don't know. What kind of stuff would you guys do? Tech says he wouldn't tell anyone either. I wouldn't tell anyone right off the jump. I would wait until some stuff is secure. The money's in the bank and secure. Or at least things are worked out with the lottery commission for my monies. But yeah, I wouldn't tell anybody right off the jump. I just think that'd be kind of a dumb thing to do. My poker. I keep moving this fire pit a little bit closer every couple of minutes because it's getting kind of cool out. Turn this. I don't really want to fuck with this fire that often. It's burning good right now. I think I'll turn this log over. Oh yeah. I want to make sure this burns relatively quickly because I don't want to put any more logs on this fire. I think after these logs burn out, probably be done for the night. Yeah, that's good fire right there. Feeling the warmth. Let's go. I really want to put my drink like right here, because this fire pit has like a ring around it where you can put like a drink or something. I'm hesitant to put anything on it, especially my electronics, because I don't want my phone or my iPad to get too close to the fire for obvious reasons. But I am kind of tempted to put my drink here at least or something. This fire pit is kind of wobbly. I'll need to work on that, but that'll be some other day. Right now I'm too busy burning shit in it, you know what I mean? The bottom of the fire pit is actually not terrible hot, just for being pure metal. I'm kind of wondering if I shouldn't line it with some kind of brick. They have those fire retardant like ceramic bricks, things like that, but I don't know. See, one-time payment, they take the taxes out up front and the rest is mine. Yeah, I mean, you end up getting a shit ton less money, but I mean, really, how much money are you going to spend? I mean, if you won, let's say, $1 billion jackpot, you end up taking home $350 million. I mean, I'm 46 years old, soon to be 47. $350 million is going to do me pretty well for the rest of my life. Like I said, I'm also going to put some of that money to work. I'm going to put some of it away for my kids that they'll get when they turn a certain age. So, I mean, it's not like that money. It's not like I would need more money. You know what I mean? But yep, one-time payout, one and done. That's what I'm saying. Alex and Garbage Man, if the payout was gigantic, I would do the one-time payment, so I'd still get millions. Otherwise, I'd opt for the monthly, because in some cases you get more than the one-time. Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. It's like you get to a certain point where I've heard that they actually send you like a check a year, not a month. I don't know exactly how it works. I'm sure there's a YouTube video out there somewhere that will explain it all. But even if they send a check a year, it's like if they send me a $20 million check once a year for every year until the $1 billion's paid off. That's not a bad way to go either. But I don't really know, so it would depend. I mean, like I said, for me being almost 47 years old and me being on the back end of middle age, I would probably just take the payout and I would put some of that money away. You know what I mean? Put it away for my kids. Let's see. TSS says, I know Frank wins the lottery when he does his next stream in a log cabin studio. Yeah. No, I honestly think one of the things I would do is I would 100% quit my job, and I would build the Harsh Truth into a brand. I would 100% fucking do it. Because if you think about it, I mean, yeah, it costs a lot of money to get a YouTube channel going at that level. But I mean, I could put a lot of money into advertising. I could put a lot of money into brand recognition. I could put money into that stuff. And would it be more than $1 million? Probably not. So I could turn $1 million into a comfortable living and still have millions of dollars to fall back on, and invest in other things. I would probably invest in other businesses too. So I mean, there's I can make this happen. I can make that happen if I were to win one. Let's see. Jennifer says, I would actually build a house for me and my best friend to live next door to each other. That's exactly what would happen. We would build a compound. There would be, they have the Kennedy compound in Kennebunkport, Massachusetts. I, for years, thought that if I ever won the lottery, there would be a place in California where I grew up. It's up on a hill. And if you're up on the hill, you look down, you see there's some factories and plants, and just past that is the ocean. And I've always really loved that view. Come to find out last time I was in California that they actually developed all that. It's a bunch of houses now. It's a whole new neighborhood, which kind of bothers me. But I thought for years I would have built that, and I would have built the Gilbert compound. I would have made like a sectioned off area with a few houses that were spread out to where we each had good yards and good area to like explore in. And that would just be like where me and my family live. It's like I'd have my cousin move into one. I'd have, my uncle move into one. My aunt and uncle move into one, so they wouldn't have to work again the day of their lives. My uncle would probably work a lot because that's what he does. But I mean, let my aunt and uncle just kind of live the rest of my Aunt Doris, Uncle Bobby live the rest of their lives in comfort and peace. And my cousins and all that, we'd have our own area. That would be the Gilbert compound. That's what I would do. And for years, I thought that'd be cool to do. I still think it'd be cool to do it. But the place that I would have done it at has now been developed and all that. So I'd have to find a new area in California to do that. And, California is a fucking train wreck anymore. So I'd have to find a better place in California. Probably someplace up north. Let's see. Tech says I may open a bar if I win the lotto. It would be cool to have a place to hang out. That's not a bad way to go. I mean, liquor licenses can be a pain in the ass, but I don't know how they are in Texas, but I know here in Ohio, liquor licenses can be kind of a pill. Boy, this fire is burning real fucking good. I actually kind of need it to burn out because we've been going now for about an hour and 40 minutes. I was looking for about the 2-hour mark, so we're gonna get there pretty easily. But I want to make sure this wood burns down enough that I don't have to worry about leaving it on my wood patio. But like I said, push comes to shove, I would get the flower water. Stir that up a little bit. Some more. There we go. Let's see. Yeah, but a bar would be pretty cool. And bars, bars make good money anyway. Let's see. Text. Let's see. Open a bar. Text. If you build the harsh truth into a brand, you better get my own horror show. That's one of the things I'd like to do. Because if you go, like when Collider Video was at its best, when John Campia and Christian Harloff and the late great John Schnipp and all those guys were there, they actually had a horror themed show. Tex, you would have gotten a kick out of it. I don't know if you ever watched it or not, but and I'm pretty sure they're still on YouTube for you to watch. The news on there is crazy old, so it might not be anything new, but if you go back and watch, that's something I would like to do, and I've actually thought about, once I can free up the time, actually doing more horror specific content. So yeah, that's something that could be coming to our channel anyway. But yeah, I would love to, Thursdays be like a regular thing, and then like Tuesday be the horror show where like me, you, Jeremy, and like Nightwatch come on, or American Werewolf from New Jersey. One of these guys comes on and just talks horror movies and stuff like that. I still eventually want to, Cora's in chat now. What's up, Cora? I still eventually want to get with Cora and finish the Downton Abbey stuff that we started doing a long time ago. I'd like to finish that stuff up too. It's something that's been on my head. I started watching Downton Abbey the other night. It was up till 4 in the morning watching Downton Abbey because, started to watch one random episode, then 3 episodes later I was like, holy shit, it's 4 in the morning. I should go to bed. Let's see. Harsh truth into our brand. Hey, would you also hire guys to go around collecting protection money too? Well, I'm definitely gonna have some. I'm definitely gonna have some muscle in Oklahoma. You know what I mean? But yeah. I would love to start a whole production company thing. I think that'd be a lot of fun. But yeah, big dreams. And while I'm dreaming big, I have to go to sleep at some point in the next couple hours so that I can go live reality at my job. But let's see. Cora's here. Hi, Cora. Everybody's saying hi, Cora. Let's see. Derek says definitely do that. No, not that. Yeah, I definitely need to start getting to work on the Downton Abbey stuff again. I was really enjoying doing that with Cora and was hoping to Jeremy's mom involved because she likes the show as well. But, you know, again, life gets in the way, as it so often does. And I got kind of pulled away from it. You know what's funny is that we tried to get that going forever, and then there was like one thing after another. Different things were happening, and I'd get volunteered for this. Thank you, Jennifer, who volunteers me for stuff. Yeah, and then, you know, shit just goes the way it goes. But yeah, we'll go back to doing the Downton Abbey stuff again here soon. I almost watched A New Era again last night, but I was like, nah, I just want to watch a couple episodes. Starting this fire, I'm trying to get these thicker logs. Probably, actually no, these are probably still burning good. I mean, they're definitely burning good, but I was trying to time the burn out a certain way so that it would be burning out about the time that we hit the 2-hour mark, and I would be able to just kind of go in and let the fire burn itself out. But I can now see that I'll have to keep an eye on this for a little while after I end the stream, but that's all right though. Been good times. Good times. Yeah, good job buying this fire pit, Jennifer. You did a good job. But yeah, need to catch up on The Crown. Yeah, I actually watched this season of The Crown. Not my favorite season. Interesting, but not my favorite season. The girl that they got to play Diana, Debicki, I have no idea how to pronounce her last name. She was really good as that era of Diana. I'm interested to see the next season, which I've heard is actually already filming, which is cool because the next season is going to be the season where they deal with the death of Diana. I've heard, I don't know if it's true or not, but within the first 2 episodes is when Diana dies, is that period where Diana is killed in the car accident. So they're going to go right into dealing with the aftermath of that and how it affected the royal family, how it affected Charles, things like that. I am kind of disappointed that they're not going to tackle certain things about the royal family. I mean, this stuff with you know, Andrew is certainly something that they could go into, but I don't think they want to for obvious reasons, because, you know, you don't want to piss off the monarchy by going into, I mean, they're already going to be pissing them off by talking about all this stuff with Diana, which I'm pretty sure King Charles doesn't want to relive for obvious reasons. But yeah, we'll definitely see how all that goes. But this fire's starting to burn down a little bit, which is kind of what I wanted to do. Let's see. But The Crown is very, very good, and the lady that played Elizabeth, the lady that played Queen Elizabeth, I want to blank on the name. I don't know why I'm drawing a blank on her name, but she did a very good job. Yeah, I thought it was not my favorite season. It was interesting in spots, really interesting in spots, but not my favorite season overall. I think my favorite season was probably the season 2 and 3 area. That's kind of my favorite area of the show so far. When they talk about her in her 30s and 40s as queen, I think that was a very interesting time too. But whatever. Cora just made a batch of whiskey sours. Hell yeah! Get drunk, Cora. Let's go. Let's get crunk. No one wants to watch Andrew's story. Well, I'm curious, but the problem is who really knows anything about that other than Andrew and obviously the royal family. I'm sure they've got a good idea as to what that was all about. But I feel bummed now for not having like some hot dogs or something to put on this grill thing right here, because it gets good heat. I think maybe in the next week or two I may have to come here and start a fire, just cook a couple of hamburgers and see how this works. Yeah, it's got a little grill thing on it. I was showing you guys earlier. You just spin this grill around, put it right over the heat, and cook some stuff up. That's fun. Jennifer's going to bed. Love you, baby. Too many NDAs. Well, I mean, the NDAs don't stop the producers from speculating about what happened on their thing. So, I mean, the producers didn't sign NDAs. And to be absolutely honest, I think the last thing the monarchy wants is them to make up stories about Andrew, because the real stories are probably bad enough. So, I don't know, whatever. Let's see. TSS says, I've been watching too many shows lately. I will start a show and then forget to watch the rest of the season or episode, and by the time they're finished, I have no interest. There's so much TV out there now, though. I mean, if there's anything that has definitely been bad about streaming services and more channels and stuff, is that we've been flooded with stuff that in the golden era of television in the 60s, 70s, and 80s, and even really into the 90s, would never have even gotten ordered to series. So, I mean, look at the ratings these days. I mean, look at the top rated show of 2022. If you compare that to the shows back in like the mid-late 80s, the top ranking show of last year wouldn't even finish in the top 30. But a lot of that is because there's more channels. A lot of that is because there's more content. So, attempting to reconnect, retry number 1. Reconnected, there we go. But, yeah, it's like it's like a lot of stuff that never would have gotten ordered to series is now getting ordered because they just need filler. And maybe you get lucky and one of these things pop off. But let's be honest, you think Stranger Things would have gotten ordered to series back in 1989? I don't think so. And it's sad because it's a good show. But, I mean, you're not going to take a chance on anything unless you know it's going to make you a lot of money. You know what I mean? But there are good shows out there. I mean, the best you can do is just watch them. I need to watch the last episode, but I mean, Willow came out on Disney Plus, and I loved the Willow movie back in the 80s. I thought that was... I'm not much into, like, the orcs and the sword and shield and magic and wizards and shit, but I loved that movie as a kid. I thought it was a lot of fun. So I went into the series with a lot of high hopes, and I gotta be honest, the series isn't doing it for me. I'm kind of watching it because I feel obligated to, because I was such a big fan of the movie. But, I dig the characters. I hate to say it like this, but some of the whole lesbian relationship doesn't fit. It's like they focus on it for like a half a minute and they don't talk about it for 2 episodes. I'm like, well, if you're going to make it a big part of your story, then make it a big part of your story. Don't dance around it. I mean, you're obviously just putting it there to draw eyes. It doesn't work for me for the story. Apparently in the last episode they focus on it again. It becomes a big thing, but at this point I just don't care. It's like, I like the characters, but the story itself, I just can't. I'm not liking it. I'm not liking the way that they're using the Willow character. I'm not liking the way they're using Joanne Whaley's character from the film. I mean, I get that her character's in a much different position now, but I mean, it's just not what I would have done with it all. You know what I mean? And you would think no Val Kilmer would affect the show. It obviously does. But, obviously, the way they used him in Maverick, I think, worked out very well, given his physical limitations and all that with his sickness. I don't think he would have been able to do it like that in Willow, because you have to make it make sense. But, this fire's putting out a ton of happy heat, boy. Dig it. But, yeah, it's just... I'm gonna finish it out because I feel compelled to finish it out, not because I really want to. But... I don't know. There's been good action. Graphics have been not too bad. A couple of the characters I really, really like. Story not strong. Writing okay. A bit all over the place overall. I haven't really been... I don't know. Maybe if I go back and watch it from episode 1 all the way through to the last episode in one big chunk, I'll like it a little better. But it's not nearly as good as the original film. The original film was very magical. I think it was a lot of fun. This one, not so much. Let's see. Cora says I need to watch Picard and get up to date before the new season in February. Season 1 of Picard was awesome. Season 2, not so much. It felt like they were trying to capture some of the magic of Star Trek 4, but didn't quite do it. But the whole back in time to not necessarily our day today, but to what to us would be only 30 or 40 years in the future instead of several hundred years. Q was actually a lot of fun in this second season. I don't really like how things ended for his character. It seems like it goes against everything we know about the Q continuum, but I don't know. All I know is season 1 was fantastic. Season 2 had some bright spots, but overall wasn't nearly as good. I've heard season 3 is pretty wild. I've also heard that season 3 is basically just another season of Star Trek: The Next Generation, which on the surface doesn't sound that bad. But one of the things that I like about Picard is that he's away from the Enterprise now. It's a different kind of adventure for him, as he's finishing up his life and not just out with Troy and Riker and Data and Geordi doing space things. It kind of, I don't know. I feel like if you're just going to make it one more season of Next Generation, you may as well just come out with another movie, you know? But that's just me. I've heard that it's actually pretty awesome. Robert Meyer Burnett, who's on John Campia's show a lot and has his own channel, he apparently has actually seen all of season 3, and he says it's really, really good. And he's a Star Trek guy. He's a Star Trek fan. So if he likes it, I have high expectations for it. But I'm trying to temper that. I'm trying not to think too much about it. But yeah. But like I said, first season of Picard really good. Second season of Picard, there was a lot of social commentary in that. It does talk a lot, like it directly talks about like the immigration stuff and things like that. And I'm like, these are things that aren't supposed to be in a futuristic show. One of the things I like about Star Trek as a world is that we've moved past the stupid shit. We've made sense of it all, and that we've moved on to exploring and going out and, you know, checking out space and looking for new life forms and all that. We've put the political bullshit that plagues us in real life now behind us, and all they did was they went right back to it and made it like a bunch of plot. And I was like, I kind of want to escape that shit. I don't want to talk about it, you know what I mean? But, you know, like I said, season 2 had its bright spots. And it's got Alison Pill in it. Ooh, I love Alison Pill. She's one of my celebrity crushes. Let's see. Everybody's saying goodnight to Jen. Let's see. TSS says, like, I finished Better Call Saul when it was still going just because I like Breaking Bad. But I think the most recent show I watched was Peaky Blinders. I've heard a lot about Peaky Blinders, and I want to watch it. Cillian Murphy's in that. He's the one that's playing Oppenheimer in the new movie. But I've heard it's really, really good, and I do like the British stuff. I really do. I just haven't had a chance to sit and watch it. And I know that I think the last season of Peaky Blinders is out, if I recall. Correct me if I'm wrong. And they went 6 or 7 seasons. So I have a lot to watch. I have the entire series to watch. Let's see. Where was I at? Tech says Stranger Things cost too much to make, though. If they had made it back then, it wouldn't have worked. I mean, I think it could have worked. The problem is that nostalgia back in the 80s is different than nostalgia now. Today, we're nostalgic for the 80s. What were you nostalgic for in the 80s? Were you nostalgic for the 60s? Were you nostalgic for the 50s? I mean, it's nostalgia is different from one decade to the next. So I think the story could have worked, because it's not like they didn't make stuff like that in the 80s. But would it have been the same? Maybe, maybe not. I don't know. I can't think of anything off the top of my head that came out that was remotely like Stranger Things back in the 80s that actually went back to like the 50s or 60s and was set there. I mean, not anything like that. Not anything that had like the horror sci-fi kind of aspect to it. There was probably a lot of like rom-coms and stuff like that I can think of, like Heaven Can Wait, things like that, stuff like that. But yeah, I can't think of anything that was so heavily influenced by horror and sci-fi that grab that nostalgic feel. Then on top of that, it's like when you're nostalgic for the 80s, you have these pop culture references in the 80s. You didn't quite have pop culture in the 50s and 60s the way you had it in the 80s. So they have things like Ghostbusters they can fall back on. They have things like video games, the video game cabinets you can fall back on. You have things like the music, like the Kate Bush song they used last year, the Journey songs and stuff like that. I mean, those people are nostalgic for those things from the 80s. They may not have been as nostalgic from the things from the 50s and 60s, at least not to this level. So I mean, maybe it would have worked, maybe it wasn't. I don't know. We could spend hours probably talking about that, but I mean, I don't know. All I know is I'm glad it's out now because I'm enjoying it. Let's see. CGI wasn't good in the 80s either. That's true. I don't know. Some of it can hold up. Some of it doesn't. I mean, obviously, I remember watching movies in the 80s and seeing the CGI, and I'm like, oh my God, how do they do that? Then I watch it now, and I'm like, good God, that CGI is terrible. but I mean, that was what they had in the 80s. I mean, you did what you could to sell tickets to your movies, and if you could give us a crazy visual like that, and it worked in the 80s, and that's how you sold the tickets. I mean, honestly, look back on some of the visual effects of the 50s and 60s. I mean, we are going to be on Thursday talking about the movie Them. I mean, look at the visual effects of that. I mean, it was obviously somebody who built a big papier-mâché ant, and you had some guys off camera that were pulling cords and shit. I mean, you know what's going on, but it was a good look for the 50s, you know? I mean, back then, if you were watching that movie for the first time in the theater back in 1954 or 55, whenever it came out, you were blown away at what they could do on camera. So, let's see. TSS says, I'm still on season 1. I haven't finished, so I have a ways to go myself. If you're talking about Picard, season 1, like I said, season 1, very good. Season 1 is very, very good. Season 2, again, not so much. Bright spots. I love John Delancey as Q. He's one of my favorite Star Trek characters of all time. He is so wildly entertaining. I mean, I'm interested in, you know, I did my my little review of Picard season 3 trailer. I'm curious about a lot of things that trailer gave us. I'm not exactly sure what it all is going to be, but you know, we'll see. Like I said, Robert Meyer Burnett, who is a Star Trek super fan, loved it, and if he loves it, then I'm pretty optimistic about it all. Let's see. Text says, if Them is a big hit, I can see that starting a trend of nostalgia 60 monster sci-fi movies. Well, we got to be careful about that though, because that's what Universal was trying to do with the MonsterVerse, and The Mummy didn't do all that well. I mean, I've heard that it was actually pretty decent, but The Mummy didn't do all that well. TSS says he was talking about Peaky Blinders. Okay. Okay, keep watching Peaky Blinders. Let me know how it is, because like I said, I've wanted to sit and start watching it. I just said I never have a chance, and I know I'm going to need like a solid couple of days to really sit and just pound it out. But yeah, but yeah, I Universal tried that with the MonsterVerse, and they got way ahead of themselves. So what I want is for them to take their time, do it right, and I don't want them to make a connected universe of anything. I mean, if you want to make this and then make something else like Invasion of the Body Snatchers, I think that'd be kind of a fun remake. I know they did one in the 80s. I think they remade it back in the 80s, as I recall. 80s or early 90s. They redid it. I don't know if it was a straight up sequel or if it was a remake of Invasion of the Body Snatchers. But yeah, I mean, if they want to go back to some of those properties, fine. But I don't want that to become the trend. I mean, I was telling Jennifer today, I've already started to make arrangements to make sure I get February 15th off so that I can go to the Fathom event for Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey. And you know, we talked a lot about that trend of that is ongoing, that is starting now, of taking these fairy tales and making the horror movies out of them. You have the Mean one from the Grinch, you have the Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey, the Bambi one we've talked about, and God knows what else is going to be coming down the pipe at some point in the next couple of years. If that's going to become a trend, I want to be careful, because those movies are timeless for a reason, because they were very well done. They were very well written, they were very well acted at the time. You know, all those movies were put together very wonderfully, and if you half-ass it today, you're not going to look that good. So, let's see. The coolest, but if not in the 80s, more like the 60s with the Twilight Zone. Yeah, Twilight Zone was good. Twilight Zone was really good. There's some Peaky Blinders. Text says, Penny Dreadful was one of my favorite shows. I wish they'd make season 4. It was supposed to be based around the Mummy. I never watched Penny Dreadful. Ooh, fire's still very hot. I'm digging that. I'm going to move a little bit closer to me again, though, because it's burning down a bit. I may start to separate these logs so they burn out. Like I said, I'm a little apprehensive about leaving this fire pit burning on my wood deck, and I don't really have the confidence in myself to pick it up and take it out in the yard. You know what I mean? That seems like there isn't a whole lot of ways that would end well. And I just realized that I have a gallon of gas sitting over there from when I mowed the yard when we first moved in. So I am 5 feet away from gas tank with this fire, which is probably not the smartest thing in the world, but it's over there. It's out of range. But yeah, I don't know. I'm interested to see how Them comes together. You know, I mean, there's a lot of potential there. But yeah, I need to find. I know they have it on Prime. You can rent it for like $5 or $6 or something like that. But yeah, Them is on there. I found it. I had watched it one time on one of the streets. Oh, beverage. Boom. I love that sound of opening a bottle. A little more bourbon. Just a little more. I think I'm going to start to turn down the drinking for the night. Make sure I get a decent night's sleep. The last couple nights have not been good sleep nights. A little bit of soda to top it off. Oh. Ugh. Thank God there's no wind. As I get away from the fire, it's cold, but it's not like really, really cold. There's no wind. And there's no cloud coverage, which means there's no insulation, so it won't hold temperature. That's probably why it's a little cool out, because there's no cloud cover. I also made the conscious decision to change the light bulb in the backyard over the back porch today. When we moved in, it was a yellow fluorescent bulb, which barely put out any light at all. And I am very, very glad that I finally got around to changing that light bulb, because it was no light out here at all. And I did not want to bring one of my soft lights out here. I know I've got the one. I actually have two. There's the one that I use when we're on stream, and I don't really have room to put the other one up. I don't really need it anyway. But yeah, I'll end up putting it in the garage or out in the shed or something like that. But I haven't put my other one up. I thought about just putting it up out here just for the purposes of doing this, but then I decided, no, I really just need the light from the porch light. And the lighting's not bad. I really didn't want to. I thought about kind of facing that way instead of this way. It took me a minute to kind of get the right angle, because at first I was facing kind of that way, the camera facing that way, but like the light was like right up here somewhere, and it was super bright, and there was a lot of lens flare, and I was like, yeah, that's not going to work. But I needed to stay a certain distance away from the outlet so that I could keep everything plugged in, because the iPad won't last for more than a half hour, 45 minutes without being plugged in. And the iPhone was already running a little low on juice because I didn't plug it in last night. And I had been on it at various times today, doing various things. I'm probably going to be out here one way or another, tuned to this fire, because I do not want to leave it burning on the wood patio. But that's the breaks. I don't really want to pour water on it either. I kind of want it to burn itself out. But that's all right. One way or another, we're at the 2 hour and 6 minute mark, so whatever. There's 8 people watching. That ain't bad. I know. Tech says he is going to rewatch them before Thursday. I'm looking in the news about the new one. Well, they just announced the new one, so you're probably not going to find much more than the announcement. Actually, John Campea did a video about it, and then Robert Meyer Burnett had some really interesting things to say about it. Interesting things like how that was kind of an era of great movies like that, the monster movies. I'm curious as to how they're going to modernize it, or if they're going to try to make it a period piece where it's set at the same time, like in the 50s. I kind of would like them to make it a period piece set in the 50s, but I don't know. We'll see what they do. They're going to do whatever they do. I forget who was doing it. Was it? I forget who the director was doing it. There was a director who recently, I think it's a younger director who just recently had like his first big hit, is the one that's going to be doing it. And I know Robert Meyer Burnett was kind of interested in the name, but I forget who's doing it. Something I'll have to look up, of course, before the stream on Thursday. Ooh, I'm gonna smell like smoke for a couple of days. My jacket's going to. Already does. I don't think we could do a watch along of them. I'm not 100% sure, because I know Nightwatch does watch alongs of movies. I don't know how he does them without catching some hell for copyright. I don't think them, I'm pretty sure, is still protected. I don't think it's fair use quite yet. But it would be kind of cool to do a watch along. But I don't know if we'll be able to do that. I've been meaning to message Knight and see exactly how he does that without getting in trouble with YouTube, or if he just hasn't gotten caught yet. Because he did a cut. Because I was in the live chat for a couple of the movies that he did. Michael Giacchino, that's right. He just did The Werewolf by Night. That's right. I knew it was something like that. And that's interesting to me because I liked Werewolf by Night. Werewolf by Night was very much an homage to that era of the monster movie, the that kind of movie. So yeah, that's why I got really excited about it. That's right, Michael Giacchino, who is a composer, believe it or not, but he's taking a shot at directing. So, and I really liked Werewolf by Night. I thought Werewolf by Night was a lot of fun. So hopefully he gives it the same attention to detail, because Werewolf by Night was a lot of fun. I feel bad for not doing a better review of that, but again, I think it just kind of came like one of those weird times. There was a lot going on. Whew, need these logs to burn down just a little bit more before I feel comfortable going inside for the night. Then again, I may end the stream here in just a few minutes, and maybe I'll just sit out here and play some music. There's a channel I've been listening to a lot lately. Let's see. Alex and Garbage Man, Werewolf by Night was very good. Werewolf by Night was a lot of fun. I really wish they would have made that more than just like 45 minutes long. That could have been a much longer movie. You could have filled out with a little bit more story and kind of dragged it out to an hour and a half. But whatever. I'm very happy with the product they gave us. But there's this channel I've been listening to lately called Nemo's Dreamscapes. Basically, he just plays music from like the 40s and 50s with like a picture in the background or whatever, something that he's altered a little bit. And the one I like is the diner. It's like that painting of the diner on the street corner in New York in the 40s, where the guy's sitting there smoking a cigarette with the girl, and the one guy at the other end of the counter is reading the newspaper, and it's just playing a bunch of music from the 40s. When I want my blood pressure to go down a little bit, I'll put that on my iPad or something like that while I'm sitting at my desk and typing away or something, or just chilling out playing PlayStation or doing whatever. And that gets my blood pressure nice and low. Helps me relax a little bit. Actually, I think the last Fireside chat that I did, after I got done with that chat, I did exactly that. I just turned that channel on for about a half hour or 45 minutes. I just watched the fire burn and listened to some good 40s music. Don't forget to like the stream, by the way. Helps us out a lot. Share the stream. 500 subs. Being a Pit Project. Get us out there. What was Ken talking about tonight? You guys know? I'll probably watch a little bit of it before I go to bed, but what was Ken talking about tonight? I got the notification that he went live when I was at dinner with Jennifer, so I didn't want to whip my phone out in the middle of this busy ass restaurant and start watching. And then you reconnect number one. Reconnected, yay. Derek says, didn't catch any of it yet. Yeah, I haven't caught any of it yet either. I kind of saw this, I glanced at this thumbnail. Let me minimize this real quick. I'm pretty sure I subscribed to Ken on my personal channel. I'm pretty sure I am. I thought I did. Let's see, subscriptions. No bucks given. Thought I did. Pretty sure I did. Aren't I subscribed to Ken on this channel? Foul Mouse Ken. Are I subscribed to Ken on this channel? Let me just type in his name. I'll find out. Type Foul Mouth Ken. Foul Mouse Network. I have not subscribed to Ken on this channel. That's my personal YouTube channel that I put videos of my kids and shit. Yeah, Ken's watching. Ken's still live right now. He's talking about Damar Hamlin. Oh yeah, he actually put out a message on Instagram today talking to people, telling them he was doing better, which is very good news. Kevin McCarthy finally elected. God, that was a fucking nightmare. goodness. Get back to that right there. Boy, this fire is still burning crazy hot. It's like I'll be up for at least the next couple hours watching this. But, hell yeah. Good night for a fire. Nice and cool night out tonight. You can see my cooler over there with the, which is currently empty. There's nothing in it because we just kind of dumped it there when we moved in. Threw it on the back porch and never looked at it again. But, the little cup holders are on top are all full of ice because they got rained on. And they were full of ice, and now it's cold at night, so it's probably somewhere in the, if I had to guess, I'd say it's about 30 degrees. I know it was in the mid-30s when we got home. Generally at night it only gets colder, and when there's no cloud cover, there's no real insulation to moderate the temperature, so that's just all heat that's rising and leaving. So we're probably around 30 degrees here right now, but thankfully I have this nice wonderful fire and this nice wonderful fire pit that my girlfriend got me for Christmas. Good job, Jen. TSS, you know, it shocks me that the one movie that no one made is about Frank Sinatra, Dean Martin, and the whole group of singers and genres to be an interesting watch. I think there's some documentaries out there. As far as a biopic, yeah, it's probably about time. All those guys are dead. So probably a good time to kind of reintroduce those to a new generation of people. The one thing I don't like is I do not like the way that they've been portraying Sinatra in media since he's been dead. I mean, because Sinatra died, in the mid-late 90s? And they kind of didn't portray him anyway for a long time. And then I watched the Kennedy thing with Greg Kinnear played Kennedy and fucking Holmes, Tom Cruise's ex-wife, Katie Holmes. She played Jackie. And the way they portrayed Sinatra in that show was downright fucking insulting. I mean, they made him out like he was a bitch of the mafia. And I was like, I don't think that they would have done that had Sinatra still been living. Because Sinatra would have had somebody fucking worked for that. I mean, was he involved with the mafia? I don't know, probably. But I don't think that he would have appreciated such a unflattering portrayal, is all I'm saying. And the same for Bruce Lee. I mean, I don't quite understand how they... I mean, actually, they didn't get away with it, really. I mean, the way that Bruce Lee was portrayed in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, the Tarantino movie, like, Bruce Lee's family wasn't particularly fond of the way that he was portrayed in that movie either. So, yeah, there's something about the way they've been portraying Sinatra the last couple of years. Not like in movies about him, but just portraying him in movies has not sat well with me. But maybe somebody who wants to tell an honest story about Sinatra, the good and the bad, that's important. Maybe somebody who wants to tell an honest story about Sinatra will try to put a movie together. But yeah, I have not been happy with the way that Sinatra's been portrayed. Moving this fire around. I don't know if I want it to catch again to burn this logs a little more, or tempted to put another log on. At the same time, I need this fire to kind of stop. Ooh, still putting out a ton of heat. These logs are still burning. Ton of heat. Whole lot of heat. I bet you I can still cook something over this shit. Oh, hell yeah. I can absolutely cook a fucking hamburger or something over this shit. Whew. Boy, this fire pit was much needed tonight. I know you guys can't quite see it. I will give it a try, even though I know that you're not going to be able to see it. But over right about in there, on the ground in the backyard, is the fire pit. And it's going to be getting some work. Definitely going to be getting some work once the spring rolls around. It'll be a lot of fun to get out there and set some fires in that. Now that I've got this fire pit up and working, me and my nephew have a s'mores date. He wants to roast marshmallows or hot dogs over the fire, so I'll have to get him over here. One of my days off, we're gonna roast some hot dogs. I really do not want to put water on this. I want it to burn out on its own. And I think it's supposed to rain in the next couple days anyway. But I hate to put a fire out with water, but I don't want it to burn on its own unattended. And I do need to try to get to bed here in the next hour and a half or so. So I'm hoping this will burn itself down pretty sufficiently. I wish I had a stick. Actually, I do have a stick that I could put a hot dog on. I don't know if I have any hot dogs. I know I don't have any buns. This fire started today with Strike a Fire. I got these because the concept is pretty cool. It's basically like a gigantic match. Get one of these out. I'll show you guys. It's basically like a small fire log, a small sliver of one, but on the front right here, it's got that sulfur from a match. So you run it up against this thing right here, light it, and then I just kind of turn it upside down to let it catch. And I stuffed it in there and into some kindling that I had already set up, and that started the fire. This thing worked very, very well. Very, very happy about how this went. I'm going to be using this to start a few fires. I might get another box of these to keep in my emergency bag just in case. What's going on? Still 6 people watching. What's going on, people? Getting awful quiet. I'm going to be wrapping up here probably, I don't know, I'll probably give it another 15 minutes or so. I'll go until 1 a.m. my time. Now that these logs have got a little bit of fire going again, they're not just hot coals. How's everybody's weekend going? Good? You know, one of the things I need to do, Tex, is I need to go ahead and get together the rest of that footage that I shot in when I was in Texas last year, because we went to Johnson Space Center near Houston. That was a pretty cool fucking happening. And I made, even though Jennifer's family, or brother and his family have moved back up here, I do still want to try to go back down there and try to get a tour of the Mission Control, because we took the tram tour of Johnson Space Center, and we drove past Mission Control, and I remember thinking to myself, I was like, I bet you I could jump off this tram, run to the door, and get in there before anybody stopped me. Just across the parking lot. I just wanted to see the inside of the building, not to do anything nefarious, of course. I just wanted to see Mission Control. I wanted to see it with my own eyes. I've seen millions of pictures, I've seen video, I've seen it all, but I want to walk into Mission Control. I want to be there. I want to feel the history of that room. But so I'll have to go back down there and try to arrange a tour of that, because I went online and looked as we were in the airport leaving to come back, because I was really bummed that I didn't get to see Mission Control, and that was when I found out that you actually can take a tour of Mission Control, and I was like, oh shit, we need to make that happen. And then in the time that we left, and really just 6 months later, her brother decided to move his family back up here for, reasons all their own. I mean, they made the decision. It was a good decision, I think, for them. But so now I have to think of a good reason to go back down to Texas. So, Tex, if you're near Houston, there's going to be another trip planned down there at some point. Doesn't blow it right in my face. Attempting to reconnect. Reconnected. But yeah, I definitely want to go back down there and check out some more stuff. I wanted to go to Dallas. I wanted to see Dealey Plaza, a couple hours away. Didn't really have that kind of time. I wanted to go to Bernie, Texas, to maybe run into Matt Carricker, but that was an hour and a half away. Didn't really have time. I wanted to go to Waco to see where the Branch Davidian things went down. That was like a couple hours away. I was like, I just don't have time. I have family in Austin, which was a couple hours away. I didn't really get a chance to go that way to see them. So, there's definitely another trip to Texas coming in the at some point in the future. I'll just figure out when. But that, and Jennifer was born just outside of Houston, so she does have other family down there that we can go see. So I have all the reasons that I need to try to work my way back down to Houston. So hopefully we'll make that happen at some point. Let's see. TSS says, it shocks me that the movie that no one's made about. I read that already. TSS says, well, tomorrow we'll know for sure if the Eagles retain or if the 49ers get the 1 seed. I have no faith in the Cowboys because the 49ers are going to be playing the C team for the Cardinals. Yeah. The Niners should win tomorrow, but the Raider game I thought was a trap game, and that almost came to fruition. And so we'll see. We'll have to see. All I know is I want the Niners to win. I want the Eagles. I don't really care if the Eagles get the 1 seed as a Niners fan. I would happily. Now, having the week off, the first week of the playoffs off, would be tremendously helpful because I don't see us playing Deebo Samuel tomorrow. I don't see a reason why. It's not like we need him to win the game. I think we can win the game and potentially win the 1 seed without him. I say we give him another week's rest, maybe potentially 2 weeks rest. If we end up getting the 1 seed to get perfectly healthy to make a good long playoff run. But, I mean, whatever. I'm not worried about the Eagles. I don't think that Jalen Hurts has played a real defense yet. I mean, it's like, yeah, there's a lot of talent, but it's like the Niners have played a lot of talented teams and shut them down. So I'm not particularly worried about the Eagles. So bring on Jalen Hurts and the Eagles. Let's see. So plus the Eagles are going to beat the Giants because they're literally resting their starters since they already made the playoffs. Yeah, true. But, who cares? Niners are making the playoffs. That's all I care about. Ugh. This fire is still tremendously hot considering it's barely burning. It's mostly embers now. I'm trying to spread out some of the embers so that they cool. But I'm also trying to look at the bottom of my fire pit because I want to make sure that it doesn't. I mean, it's not the best fire pit in the world. Jennifer got it off Amazon. It was one of the ones that I was looking at. She went ahead and got it for me. Move these things back over there. I want to try to either want this thing to burn like a motherfucker or to burn out. No in betweens. I'll move all these embers back under these logs. Whew. Warm, warm, warm. Whew. Whole lot of heat going on. Ugh. The only thing I care about is Aaron Rodgers doesn't make the playoffs because somehow the Cowboys luck out because the Eagles lose for some reason. Pick your poison, face Rodgers or Brady in the playoffs. I don't think Rodgers. I think he's at least done in Green Bay. I don't think Green Bay's got that good of a team. I think the rest of his division decided to hit a weak spot when they were hitting kind of a good streak. That's what gets him in the playoffs. I don't see him getting past the Niners again. The Niners have been his bugaboo. That's why I think it's absolutely hilarious. He talks about how the Niners are going to regret not fucking drafting him. I think the Niners should have drafted him ahead of Alex Smith, but that's just me. A lot of it was just the system they went into. He went into a better system at the time in Green Bay than the Niners had for Alex Smith. So, top this off just a little more. Yeah, I think Aaron Rodgers is done in Green Bay. Brady's obviously done in Tampa Bay. I don't think he gives a shit about winning a Super Bowl there this year. If he looks into one, I don't think he's going to care because obviously it's winning a Super Bowl. So who doesn't want to win a Super Bowl? And I'm sure he wants to pad his numbers so that everybody can go around a little more confidently saying that he's the best quarterback ever. But really, I think he's done down there too. I really wish people would stop trying to make Brady to the Niners happen. I don't want it to happen. I don't know why any Niner fan wants it to happen. It's I don't know. I mean, if he were 5 years younger, I might be into it, but he's already kind of on the end. and I don't want a quarterback who's on the end. I would rather take my chances with Brock Purdy, because Brock Purdy is only 20-something years old. He's going to be around for a while. He's in a system that works for him. But I don't know. I mean, if Brady wants to try to play till he's 50, if you think about it, the Niners are the best place. But I don't really want Brady playing till he's 50. And I got to be honest, I'm not a very big Brady fan, so don't give a shit if he retires or whatever. I still don't think he's ever going to be what Joe Montana was. Joe Montana created a big part of the NFL. Tom Brady didn't. Ooh, took my hat off. You can feel just how cold it is now. Put that hat back on. Damn. I'll have to recover this little bit of wood right here. Yeah, I had to take this thing out of my fire pit. There's this weird, like, grid thing that goes in my fire pit, and I don't understand what it's for. My guess is that it's supposed to help with airflow, but if you stack your logs right, that takes care of your airflow. So I don't really understand why that's there. But whatever. I mean, I don't know why you would have it there, but I mean, because it would make the fire sit out of the fire pit itself by like 5 or 6 inches. I don't really understand why. And the fire pit has these slots around its perimeter to help the air intake to the fire, but I don't know. So I don't know why you would need to then raise it up 5, 6, 7 inches. I just don't get it. So I took it out. I'm not using it. The fire is burning just fine. It's burning very, very hot. I mean, I've got 2 logs on it now, and those logs are most of the way burned down, and it is still burning very, very hot. So I don't think it's necessary. A little bit of wind. I think ultimately what I might do, I may just move this fire pit out there, and after I clean up that fire pit area, and that will just be the fire pit. I don't see any reason why to do anything different than that. I mean, I kind of like the idea of having one right here on my back porch, because the fire pit is way out there. It's a good 75 feet from the house. It's a good 75 feet from electricity, which means it would be very hard to do stuff like this. So maybe I'll get another fire pit to put out there. But, we'll see. What's going on in the chat? TSS says Brady, I think, goes to either the Raiders or the Jets. I've heard a lot of people talk about the Raiders lately. It might be a good fit for him. I mean, I personally don't think David Carr is the problem in Oakland. I think the problem in Oakland is that they're just kind of a bad not making good decisions for that team. Get some of these back towards the middle. Ooh. I think this fire is finally starting to die down the way I want. But these embers are still going. They're still going strong. So we're going to try to get some more good burn. Switching some of these up a little bit. Hopefully we'll get some more burn going. Ooh, very warm. Very warm. Ooh, how about that? Nails on chalkboard, son. Let's go. A little bit more flame going. Let's go. Yeah, this fire's burning really, really well. Let's see. Chris Cole. What's up, Chris? How you doing, brother? It says Woody Hayes. Mikkel. Happy birthday, Mikkel. What's up, brother? Good to see you guys in here. We've got 10 watching now. Jesus Christ. Figures just as I'm trying to get this fire to burn out so I can go in for the night and kind of relax is when everybody decides to start popping in. But hey, glad you guys are here. Let's see. TSS says, but I think we can all agree that the Vikings are frauds. Well, they might be. I mean, I'm not afraid of the Vikings. I mean, if the Niners played the Vikings tomorrow, I'm pretty sure the Niners are winning that game. But I don't know. Like, any given Sunday, man, anything can happen. So we'll see. Oh, it's so tempting to put another log on here to get it burning some more. Ooh, wow. Ooh, wow, that's really hot. Like right here, it's fairly, it's warm, but it's not it's not hot. But yeah, once you touch the actual inner part of that fire pit, goodness, it is warm. Yay, yay. How's your guys' next week looking? My next week is looking like more work. Unless I can, buy one of those winning lottery tickets like we were talking about earlier. I think I might move some of these embers. Okay, let them burn out. Ooh, warm. Very warm. Very warm indeed. Whew. If the Niners faced the Vikings, it would be a 50-7 game. And the Cowboys, Packers blew them out. Hell, the Colts did blow them out until they choked. Yeah, true. I don't see the Niners letting them back into the fucking game. But yeah, I'm confident as hell in the Niners defense right now. I mean, I don't think anybody in the NFC can handle the Niners defense. Could be wrong. I know as soon as I say that, it'll be when half the defense gets hurt or some crazy shit. Now, look, the defense got worked over pretty fucking good by the Raiders. Can't deny that at all. They gave up a ton of points and a ton of yardage. They also had a lot of good success rushing the ball. The Raiders did against the 49ers, which is kind of a concern. But I mean, hey, we all heard bad games, right? Yeah, I'm trying to get those embers in there so they can burn hot and maybe burn out. Let's see. I'm having a mini vacation, says TSS, so I'm going to have more time to relax, and this video idea that Casey will find hilarious. Yeah, Casey wanted me and Jennifer to do the intro. I was hoping to do it today, but because I woke up so late, I just didn't have the time that I wanted to do some of the stuff that I was hoping to do. And I really wanted me and Jennifer to have our date night tonight because we haven't had one of those in a while, and with Girl Scout cookie season coming up, there isn't going to be one for a while, so I wanted to make sure that we got our quality time in, because I know that she's been really looking forward to it, and I've been looking forward to hanging out with her, because like I said, we don't get a chance to really spend a whole lot of time together during certain times of the year. And while we had a lot of plans for things we were going to do this winter, that got kind of blown up by having to move suddenly. So I wanted to take this opportunity while we had it. Okay, that one log looks like it's burned down to embers. So hot. This thing is still putting off a tremendous amount of heat. Like, if I were to put hot dogs or hamburgers on this grill right now, I'm fairly certain they would cook them really, really well. So I'm thinking that maybe at some point this week, I may just come up here and throw some more wood in this fire, light it up, and get this thing going and make some fucking hamburgers or some hot dogs or something. I am super impressed by this fire. Ooh. Super, super warm. I wonder if I can rearrange this stuff real quick and give you guys the last little bit of the fire. Drop the camera. Let's see. How about that? Does that work for you guys after I, drop it? There we go. Maybe right there. Somewhere right there. Yeah, right there. That gives you guys a good view. Yeah, I'm actually, now that I'm messing with this a little bit, it's a little wobbly, but I'm comfortable putting my drink right here. I'm confident it's not going to heat my drink up too much, especially considering that it's fucking 30 degrees out right now. It is putting on a lot of heat, but this isn't very hot. So This is actually still pretty cool to the touch. So, oof, burr. Ugh. My hands are actually, they feel pretty warm. I mean, I feel like I need to warm them up because it's cold outside, but they feel pretty warm. Do me a favor, like it, share it, do all that stuff. The bell, the notifications. I'm going to try to do these a little more often. Like I said, I'd like to try to get some people together and do this. Maybe do one of these with Jeremy and Rachel one day. Set up some cameras, actually run it through my computer. That way it gets to do it a little bit better. That way I can just run it through OBS and not have to fuck with changing cameras or anything. I just have one camera up. Ugh. You guys just saw me scratch an itch on my leg. My white ass leg. Mikkel. What's up, Mikkel? Didn't know if you were still Go Cowboys. My ass. Go Cowboys, my ass. The Cowgirls. The only thing the Cowboys have ever given to the NFL. Cowgirl cheerleaders. Ooh, that one log is just burning and burning and burning and refuses to go away. Ugh. Yeah, still wobble. You guys see what I mean by the wobble? I don't know if I put it together wrong or what, but I definitely need to fix that. Now I think I could probably just put some spacers, some washers in there where the legs are to kind of even it out. But worst case scenario, like I said, this will probably just end up out in the yard anyway, and maybe I'll get a nicer one to keep here on the porch. Yeah. TSS says, never get nervous watching the Cowboys play in the regular season, but the playoffs, I don't know why, but the switch happens. I guess I have more emotions. Hey, that's Dak. Dak is, look, it's the same thing with Romo. Romo was great in the regular season, but for some reason in the postseason, shit just didn't come together that way. And he struggled to get wins. I mean, did Romo only had like one win in the postseason or something like that? I mean, because I remember a lot of people talked about how Romo was a great fantasy quarterback. During the regular season, he put up monster numbers. But come playoff time in the NFL, his shit just fell apart. I mean, he would still put up good individual numbers for himself for a quarterback, but when it came time to win the big playoff games, he just wasn't there. So I think maybe it might be about time to start spreading out some of these embers more. I'm trying to get this one log to burn down just a little more, so I'm trying to keep some of these really hot embers close to it so it catches a bit and burns down. But whew, warm. Ooh, hands right over the fire in that one. Ooh, very warm indeed. Very hot, very hot. Let's see, Crazy Blade, what's up, brother? This is Go Chargers. I like the Chargers. I got a lot of family in San Diego. They're Charger fans, so whenever the Niners and the Chargers meet up, we're always good for a couple of jabs back and forth on Facebook. No Wild in playoffs? What do you mean, Mikkel? I had really meant to do a lot more like NFL content this year, but work kind of got in the way. My schedule changed once I took a different job at work. that kind of screwed things a little bit. Ooh, like right here, it's a little warm. So maybe this isn't the best place to keep my cup, but there's a lot of heat coming off this fire still. Maybe I'll move my cup back over here. I think that'll be the best thing for it. Well, I am feeling a great amount of heat. I have to move this thing back over where that water froze, where I dumped it out of the thing. I'll tell you what, I'd like to maybe try to enclose this back somehow, so that on cool nights like tonight, I could still kind of trap in some of the heat, but not the smoke. You know what I mean? I gotta figure out a way to do that, but I don't own this place, so I can't make that many big renovations. You know what I mean? Whew. Fire. Mikkel says no winter in playoffs. Well, winter's everywhere. You can not like winter in the playoffs all you want. Good times, guys. Good times. Thank you guys for coming and hanging out with us. I appreciate it. It's been a good conversation. I feel like if I do these things a little more regularly, they'll kind of fall into what I want them to be. I want them to be a little more bang bang. Good times. Good times. Trying to break this log down a little bit more. But I do think it's probably about time to go ahead and end the stream. Got a little bit of a fire left. I'm just going to hang out here for a few minutes while this burns down a little more. Maybe I'll put on some music and chill. But yeah, I appreciate you guys. I very much do. I will try to do more of these so that we can have more personal one-to-ones. You know what I mean? I like having a good conversation with you guys. It's fun stuff as I continue to try to get this one log to burn just a little bit more. I have some wood skewers. I know I do, and I think I have some hot dogs in the fridge. I'm really, really tempted to go get one just to cook it over this fire. And I don't have any hot dog buns. I have bread. I don't have any hot dog buns, but I'll just put it on bread with some mustard or something like that, or maybe a little bit of barbecue sauce, and just cook it up and eat it, just so I can say I cooked something over this damn thing. Or maybe even just put it on here. See how it cooks. Like I said, there's still plenty of heat right here, son. Plenty of heat to cook some meat right here. Plenty warm. But I don't know. I think I'm going to go ahead and end the stream now, guys. I appreciate you very much. It's been 2 hours and 47 minutes. That ain't bad. That ain't bad. We had a good time. Had some good views. It's a nice way to kind of steal a few watch hours. You know, try to get those numbers up for YouTube. Satisfy them so we can move on into monetization. Appreciate you guys hanging out. Please share us around. Still trying to grow. Really want to get to 500 subscribers. I think once we get to 500, that you're going to see an exponential growth. I think that's when YouTube will probably put us in a few more places in the algorithm. But we need to get to 500, guys. So get us out there. And until then, I'm going to let the fire burn out. I might have one more drink. I might just sit out here and enjoy the quiet for a bit. It's about 10 after 1 where I'm at. So probably enjoy one more drink and then go to bed. But I will see you guys later on. Thanks for hanging out. Love you guys. See you later.